Okay, take your time, computer. It's not embarrassing at all. All right. This hasn't happened in a while, guys.
Ho, ho, ho. I listen to the Black Guy Who Tips podcast because Rod and Karen are hot. Ho, ho, ho.
No wonder it took so long. It's not even your time of year, man. You're 4 months early or 8 months late. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Black Guy Who Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod. Joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
We're live on a Sunday with your feedback.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Saturday, we were in Atlanta for the NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists. Mm-hmm. We talked about being independent media, along with Halaku Hannah and Risha, who's Risha Cosby, Risha on the radio. It was a fun time.
It was. Got
to talk to some young, impressionable people trying to make it into the whatever we're calling this media landscape, whether you got to do it on your own or you are able to get a job.
Whatever
for these white folks, I don't know.
Because it has morphed over the years. It is not what it used to be.
But it was a good, fun, fruitful conversation. Mm-hmm. Michael Harriet came and we hung out for a little bit.
It was great
watching us record.
See him. He was like, y'all are not AI. I was like, nope, we are not AI.
All of us are real human beings that, unlike EVE.
And I met another Karen. Shout out to Karens, particularly black Karens.
Michael's married to a black Karen. Black Karen brand is strong on these streets.
How clear it is, ain't it?
We love to see it. And yeah, I'm sure we'll have thoughts and observations, different episode. But I just wanted to thank Risha for having us. Mm-hmm. Thank the NABJ for having us. And I just want to go on the record before this even becomes a thing. No, they did not put Stephen A. Smith on the thumbs down award recipient list because of me or Karen.
No, I didn't have anything to do with that. That was not associated with us, the Black Guy Who Tips brand, LLC. None of that. Could it be nothing to do with that?
Could it be our influence? Maybe, but I'm not gonna take any credit for that. I didn't have nothing to do with that. I personally, if I'm being honest, I wouldn't have put him on the list.
Me either.
Y'all know I've always struggled with putting him on the coon list every year. Like, I don't know about just throwing him on there. It's a little up and down with him sometimes.
Yeah, he's not a coon.
But they decided over Jason Whitlock, it was Stephen A. Smith, and that was not up to me. Mm-mm. So if Stephen's listening, I know you listen to everything. That one wasn't on me. Don't be mad. Don't put me on blast when you do Straight Shooter. But this is for you guys who are straight shooters, the people that shoot at us with voicemails, emails, phone, the comments on our website, comments on YouTube, votes in the poll, all that stuff. We're going to do our feedback for you guys. We appreciate y'all and we thank y'all because, without y'all, honestly, we wouldn't be able to make this stuff happen. Even something like taking a trip to Atlanta and paying for the hotel room and the gas. And when we were going to, I got my car back literally the day before we were going to have to pay for the rental car. So actually, that worked out in our favor. And the car made it all the way there and back.
Yes, it did.
We'll talk about that in detail, I'm sure, on pregame or something.
We will.
Your boy got a brand new engine, catalytic converter, and turbo.
Right.
0 miles on it.
0 miles.
Except the miles I put on it. So and it was all covered by warranty. Mm-hmm. So I lucked out.
Shout out to warranties.
That's why I said we just had regular problems. I didn't try to say it was end of the world. Nobody's dying over here. Nope. It's just regular problems.
Yeah, this is not life and death issues. No, sir.
Inconveniences, if you will.
Yes.
But it worked out in the end. So that was actually really good news to hear. And the car's still running and everything. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into the feedback, people. First of all, we got to shout out to people that gave us money. You can go to theblackouttips.com, look on the right hand side and say, hey, I would like to give you some money. That's all you got to do. And you can say one time, recurring, whatever. You get a shout out for that. And we appreciate everybody. It takes time out to do that because you don't got to do that. But we thank you. And so we're going to give you a shout out.
May I have your attention? You are now listening to Charlotte's Own Rod and Karen. We welcome the good folks who tithe to the Black Guy Who Tips.
Today's a new day.
Yes.
That's right. New Heron, new, what up, son? Okay, I'm running out of them, guys. Okay, so much currency. Alexis H, Marlon B, yes, Marlon B. Wonga from Down Under, good day, mate. Tiffany B, Yatunde R, Walter B. I feel like Walter's new, but I feel like they stopped sending me the emails and telling people new. Jasmine J, David C, James C, Kyle K. This one's in the wrong folder. So we moving that. Bambi, Dr. Professor Bambi. And then someone on Cash App named Tony.
Shout out to Tony.
Sent something that just says premium renewal. Tony, I need to know what your account is. I don't know.
Send us your account information.
Please let me know through an email which account is yours so I can make sure that it's working.
Right, and it is right.
Thank you. I'm counting this as a donation because he sent this via Cash App. I was like, okay, I don't even know what this is for. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. 1 5-star review. And they're cutting it close. Because it's August 9th, meaning it was exactly 7 days ago. Which was actually Sunday of last week. But we're doing this episode on Sunday. So, let's go. Another 5-star review because I forgot, says Jared Chillin. Shout out to y'all. 25 years in the game, maybe the Black Guy Tips podcast with King Rod and Queen Karen reign forever. Now, technically, we are not 25 years in the game as podcasters. We're more than 25 years in the game as far as being together, but I don't know about the podcast. I feel like 16 is the right number for that. 17 coming up in January.
Yay!
Everybody go home, go watch the movie The Black Knight starring Martin Lawrence, classic comedy. When you guys do the House of the Dragon recap, scenes from that movie play in my head because it has similar black comedic jokes with you all and the swords and the spears and the dragons.
I ain't seen that movie in forever.
You guys should make a Black Lord of the Rings or do a Lord of the Rings recap with y'all own jokes and stuff like y'all do the House of the Dragon. Man, I don't know Lord of the Rings nearly well enough to do
I don't know the lore as much, yeah.
And them Lord of the Rings people, boy, they go hard. But I did enjoy those movies.
I did too.
Though, for sure. They're really great movies. But I like they have a Lord of the Rings TV show, Rings of Power, and I can barely keep up, man. Like, I would really need to do what I do with House of the Dragons and start over and make notes and shit, and it's a lot of work. Like, even with the House of the Dragon, I don't know if y'all could tell, but even this last episode, like, I felt like I was in the last leg of a marathon. I was like, whew, cool. I don't have to think about this for 2 more years.
They even got a video game for Lord of the Rings, and it's based off of I don't want to say Frodo, but like that species and
the Hobbits.
Yes, the Hobbits. And so it's really a fun game. It's you tell people up front, you ain't gonna be going in the mountains and then doing magical shit, nothing like that. It is well, you might be doing magic, but it is watered down. So if you come in here think you get like the Lord of the Rings, and you ain't getting that here. But I was just letting people know that they do have, and they have other video games that you do that, but they have a more recent one that I enjoy playing.
And he says, showing love from Dallas, the Mavericks are better than the Hornets. Well, let me just check the box score here. February 27th, the Mavericks beat the Hornets 103-96. And then January 20th, the Hornets beat the Mavericks 110-105. So I'm going to say it's pretty much even. So we'll see. Now, one of our teams went to the play-in, and one of you did not. But you guys got the Rookie of the Year, and we got the runner-up. So
yeah, you got the Rookie of the Year.
Closer than you think. I guess we'll find out this year as we continue. Let's get into, because no commercials, you left a 5-star review. Let's get into the episodes. The first one was 3308 AI voicemails. We had 5 comments. Apia says, my LinkedIn pics gave me compliments from Evie and Rod. I love it. Sean says, be safe out there. Listening to Blackout Tips can be hazardous if you are listening to it while weightlifting. Jogging should be fine, but probably avoid listening during extreme parkour. EVE says, of course you would say my voicemail is AI, Rob, because you're a hater, but I've come to accept that. It's part of your charm. Karen, I have 4 more recommendations for you, but since you're an active Isekai watcher, you may have already seen them already.
That's okay.
These are a few of my favorite, plus 3 of them are the cozy type since you like cozy games. The first one is that one time I was reincarnated as a slime.
Yes, that I call
The AI knows you already. It's just it knows you know it, Kim. It's just trying to confirm your biases
okay.
so that
I'm
it'll
so
slip
sorry.
through and make you believe it. Oh, I could not know that the isekai you talked about a million times on Nerd Off. How could I possibly know that also is going to ingratiate me to you?
That particular isekai, I call that the One Piece of isekais, because that shit is long and it goes on for fucking ever, and I am here for it. They got a brand new season. There's how many fucking episodes they said that the season is? It's long as shit. You know, they normally do like a 22 to, 22, 24. I forgot. It's like 50-something episodes they're going to show like back to back to back to back. And so it's long. And I am here for every one of them bitches.
My favorite, Rikamaru, is so OP, and I love the world building. Campfire cooking in another world, basically self-explanatory, and the food always looks fire.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Fluffy Paradise, about a little girl with the power to tame any animal, is so adorable.
That one is really, really, really fun. If you like light, fluffy, colorful, things happen, but nothing where it's gonna be too serious. That is my jam.
And finally, the Saint's magic power is omnipotent. That was one is about someone summoned to another world alongside another girl, but because the other girl is young and pretty, that girl is labeled the Saintess, while the main girl is discarded, but it turns out the discarded one is the real Saintess, and she makes magic potions to help people. That's one I watched several times.
Yeah, I enjoy that one too. Yeah, I like things like that. And I have a ball watching it.
I love that there's someone out there who loves isekai as much as I do, especially as an older black woman. I wish I had more people to talk about it with. I have nephews who are into anime, and we always have good conversations about it, but they're teens and are more into shonen like JJK and Attack on Titan, so they don't really watch all the ones I do. How do you feel about villainous anime and kicked out of the Heroes Party genres? Those are also favorites of mine.
Oh, I'm here for all of them. When it comes to anime, I'm all over the place. I enjoy the shonen, which is the, like the Naruto's and Attack on Titan, was kind of male based. I enjoyed the female based heroes too. Those are a little bit harder to find because normally the female based are, like you say, they the villainess, they the princess. They're the maids, which is fine, but I enjoy those too. They got some really, really good villainous ones that I enjoy, and I wait for some of them. I'm waiting on season like 2 and 3 of some of those type of things. So I when it comes to anime, as long as it's entertaining. Now there are some genres I don't like. But I will give genres a try, and it's not gonna say genres. It's certain animes like this. Maybe it might come to like the animation or the style or the drawing that might turn me off. But I'm down. I'm literally down for everything. I watch some where it's murder and mystery and revenge and sports. Me and Roger love sports anime. So when it comes to animation, I am open food. You name it. When it comes to, because I just love cartoons. I've have loved cartoons all my life.
Mm-hmm. She also goes on to say 0011. What? All right. I don't know what that was about. You Good Young says, random unrelated comment, Rod and Karen. I've seen The Odyssey and Spider-Man Brand New Day because of this show. I laughed out loud when John Bernthal was speaking because he sounds just like the JL impressions. Agreed.
Tony, no.
You can't unhear it.
No, you can't.
It was so good that I wonder if John Bernthal listened to the show. That's funny. Anyway, I love the show. Thank you. Miss Barnes says, wow, Rod, first Arby's, then chicken and waffles, and now Cookout. Over 100 of the most delicious shakes on the menu, and you have a problem with Cookout? Yeah, honestly, the shakes at Cookout are good. Mm-hmm. I just think it's a bit overrated as the food that's not shakes.
Right.
I think that's the reason everybody goes to the shakes is because, who the fuck don't like a milkshake? That's why people do this with all the overrated restaurants. You go to Arby's, what's the first thing y'all say? Oh, the Shamrock Shake. Right. So when something is shit, y'all are like, oh, but the sugar and milk is good. Yeah, of course, sugar and milk is always good. The fuck? That means nothing to me. You're like, oh, like you think Dairy Queen been holding Blizzards upside down because nobody likes the fucking shakes? No, the shakes, you can't miss with a shake. The menu is a smidge overwhelming, and yes, you will not understand the person take your order, but it's just as delicious at 12 p.m. as 2 a.m. Why are my favorites catching strays, Roderick? I don't even remember what I said bad about Cookout, but it is overrated. And if you can't take that, then you just don't like the truth. Y'all, like, that's the thing. My integrity to say stuff like that is the reason I'm not on here telling y'all to give Trump a chance. It's because I have to be honest. We are not
giving him a chance. No.
Okay, if y'all want to go to Arby's and let them give 98% of their money to Republicans, but y'all boycott Target, fine. Y'all can be those people. I'm just being consistent. All hail EVE, for she is real, and I hope that you both had fun in Atlanta. I bet you've never met EVE in person. I bet. Take a picture
They
with her.
do, the world's going to explode.
Take a picture with her. Not that AI Photoshop shit. Let's see. YouTube, we got, how many comments? 3. Warning. You only try Raising Cane's if you like unseasoned chicken, aka we know who it's really for. Though the bread and sauce is fire. I've heard so many bad things about Raising Cane's.
I've never tried it in my life. That, and we never tried Whataburger. Like, it's just certain places that
I've seen a few popping up around Charlotte. I definitely
in
want
the
to try
area. Yes,
I want to try it just so I can know for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But man, you guys are not giving me any reason to have hope.
Right.
Joseph says, I was wondering where y'all were. Thanks for doing what you could. Yeah, no internet, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Your old buddy Bucho says, the riff about sneaking meats had me grinning so hard for so long, my whole face was hurting. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. No comments on Spotify for this episode. 1 comment on Patreon. FL Duchess 16 says, listen, if I have a dragon, then I'm also getting the house and everything else I want. Yeah, I think the thing about a dragon that a lot of people don't think about in the Game of Thrones world, you got to hop off that dragon at some point.
Yeah, you do. You got to live in society.
Yeah, like you gonna need to use bathroom sometime, unless you're gonna live up in the mountains like Raina. Like it's always a way to get a nigga on a dragon eventually. So you got to be careful what you do with that dragon. I guess you could pull up and take somebody's land, but just one arrow, and it's back to homeless. You know. And the poll was: have you ever been fooled by AI voicemail? 3.45% say yes. 41% say I'm not sure, and 55% say no. I'm going to say I'm not sure.
Same. I'm going to say I'm not sure either.
I'm going to say I'm not sure. But I would say no, but that EV voicemail was really, really good. Like, it would have fooled most people. If I didn't already have my guard up, it could have got me too. But...
it could have tricked you too. Oh, Lord.
All right, voicemail. Break time.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated. This is just a commercial break. Relax, sit back, enjoy. This is just a commercial break. Not get the break. We'll be right back. This is just a commercial. This is just a commercial break.
All right, the next episode is 3309, The Salted Lake Tears of Skylar Hagley, who was a first-time guest on the show.
Fun.
Sean says, yeah, very fun. Sean says, coming back strong after that forced vacation. Excellent show, and Skylar was a great guest. That being said, I got to give it to Mormons for their craziness in inventing jump humping. Sorry, butt stuff don't count, Christians. The Mormons have you beat. I don't even know what jump humping is. Should I look
don't
this
know.
up?
It might mess up your algorithm.
Internet slang term and viral social media myth. Describing an alleged, so it's a myth. It's not even true. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Evie says, I really enjoyed this episode. Hearing about Skylar's experience as a black adoptee by white parents was insightful. I often wonder about the lives of the transracial adoptees, and sometimes I feel bad for those kids because I know some of them are going to be coons when they grow up, and it's not even their fault. Some will walk away with a lot of trauma, and some come out all right. Yeah, you know what's funny is our eyebrows go up when it's a transracial adoption, but there's a lot of coons who just was raised by black families and just turned out to be coons. I don't know what you do to stop somebody
For
from
whatever
being a coon.
reason, being around black people and in the black community, and like there was no separation. Yes.
Like Clarence Thomas grew up around black people.
Mm-hmm. And he do not like us.
I know Jason Whitlock, I think he had a black mom, but maybe his dad wasn't in the picture or something. Yeah, I don't know what it makes somebody be a coon. And I know a lot of times because of this, the coons themselves will blame the black community and be like, they were mean to me. And I just would like to remind everybody, all teenagers are assholes. All little kids are assholes.
Regardless of the race,
if you black and you live in an all white neighborhood, it's not like all the white kids are like, well, we have zero bullies in white neighborhoods. Everybody is nice.
Nope.
No, they just bully your black ass for something else. So whether the white people you grew up around were picking on you for being black, or the black people you grew up around were picking on you for like an anime, all kids go through some sort of weird rite of passage. It's a trope. And if you let that derail you into being a tool of white supremacy, that's on you, man.
Yes, it is. At some period of time, you got to take accountability and responsibility for your actions and ask yourself internally, why do I feel like this?
I feel sorry for you, but we all got to go through something.
Right.
And I went through it too. Everybody went through it. Just some of us decided, well, that doesn't mean I'm going to hate black people for the rest of my life.
No. And I remember growing up, I forgot we was on a bus, and I was doing my homework or something on a bus, and somebody basically picked on me for actually like reading. And I was like, okay, nigga, I don't know what to tell you. I'm doing my homework. Like, I guess I am a nerd because I read. Damn.
All right.
And that's what people do. And children do that shit out of fucking ignorance because they're stupid.
I do believe that some white parents do put forth an effort for their black children, but my heart goes out to the ones who don't. Did you know Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett adopted 2 black children? I really hope those kids are safe, but knowing her views, I doubt it. Yeah, I that's one of the horrible things about like the idea of like especially certain like Mormon and white Christian nationalists. Their charity is believing I should adopt a child, and I'm colorblind, so I will adopt a black child. But then their personal politics, ethics, and views and morality are based around white supremacy, meaning some black child is going to grow up in a household that does not value their blackness, and if anything is anti-black towards them. And those are some of the most vulnerable children, because what are you supposed to say at the adoption agency? No, the kid is just going to stay in a bad situation. No,
right.
They're going to say, at least now you got food and clothes, even if the person teaching you is teaching you to hate yourself.
Right.
Unfortunately, not all black adoptees with white parents had the luck of being adopted by the greatest white adopted parents ever, Jack and Rebecca Pearson. That's true. Let's see the comments on YouTube. Let's see how many we got here. 4. We got 4 comments, everybody. Absurd Spoonful says, I just want to tell Karen how much her interview skills have really blossomed over the years. It's been a pleasure to watch.
Yay! I have really gotten better. Like I've the way my mind ticks, and Roger kind of knows this, I am a very inquisitive person. Like, I will ask if people are, and I even do this at work and things like that, when people talking and they're using big words and acronyms and they assume everybody in the room understands. I'm like, bitch, I don't. What is this? What does it mean? Like, explain, because you just yada, 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 and then everybody gonna leave, look at each other like, what does that mean? I was like, no, I don't want to be stupid, and what you're saying might be so important. It might make or break how I understand and how I comprehend the next words that are coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, but I don't think you were just asking questions for clarification. You were asking interview questions, and I think it is noteworthy and important to point out, because it used to be a time where you wouldn't ask questions, especially a first-time guest.
Right.
You just kind of sit back and either like just let me and the guest talk, or not really jump in with your questions aggressively or whatever. And I think you have done such a much better job at that. As I said, always, I will always try to err on the side of you can go ahead and interrupt me. I'm getting a little more better about being like, no, I do want to finish this thought. But that's because you've gotten to a point now where you're interrupting at enough of a clip that I feel like, okay, sometimes I can go, let me finish my thought.
Right.
But it used to be a time where I was like, we would talk about it off the air and before the interview, and we'd still get in here and you kind of like play the back or freeze up or just not have anything like that you wanted to ask or whatever. And then we get off the air and you'd be like, oh, this, I wanted to know about this. And I'm like, that was the time.
Right.
And even if we only have an hour with the person, I don't give a fuck. I prefer that you ask questions and I can mark off ones. Half the time you're asking a question I have written down anyway. And so, yeah, and getting into the jumping back and forth and the jokes of it all. I mean, you said even after the show that you was like, I really asked some good questions. I was like, I know, like you're killing it. So I appreciate Absurd Spoonful for pointing it out, because I think the audience is I can't ask everything, and I definitely don't know the perspective of everything. I don't have the perspective of a black woman or even just you. So you're gonna find something that the audience is going, and the audience comes for both of us. They're going to be interested in it in a way that I wouldn't even clock to know. Like when you ask the woman about shower, like your hair or shower, the heat of the shower and stuff. So like, yeah, anyway, I think, I thought you did a great job when we had Skylar on.
Yeah, and I want to tell the person who wrote in, thank you, because like Roger said, we have had conversations. And I think as time goes on, my confidence on the microphone has increased. And I've become more comfortable in my own voice. And also, and it's something that you know, but you can know something, but until you believe it, a lot of times you're not going to step into it. Like, I've always known that, I can interrupt and I can jump in at any period of time. So it's not something I didn't know. It was just that I didn't have the confidence to just be like, stop, look at me, I have something to say type of thing. But as time has gone on and with the encouragement of the audience and Roderick, I'm like, no, I do have questions. Because like Roger said, sometimes I can ask things like he said he wouldn't even have thought about. Or a lot of times I've learned, not only from me, but listening to the different types of interview styles. Everybody interviews differently, and you can tell when the interviewer is like, next question, versus the interviewer that actually listens to what the person is saying. And over the years, particularly doing Lip Smacking Good, Roderick's on with me now, but prior to that, I used to have like guests. And like, if you go back and listen to the older shows, and doing that show has kind of taught me, if you listen to what people are saying, it can literally lead you into another conversation that they might not even go into if you don't pick up the pieces that they're laying. You go, oh, okay, I see you say that, but how does that connect with this? Or what do you think about this? Or, oh, I see, you feel this way about this, and you said this. Well, how do you feel about that? And it can lead into like a pure conversation versus, and it's still interview style form, but it's more of a relaxed interview style. And a lot of times the guest feels more comfortable because they know, oh, you're actually interested in me, and you're not just throwing out not trying to find these generic questions that I get from every interview.
Yeah, we're not just trying to like get a viral clip or catch somebody in a gotcha moment. We really do care. It's long form. You want to, if they may have a long answer, and it's a lot of filling stuff out. Like sometimes you have to fill out like, is this answer going somewhere or is it spiraling out? Did they forget the question? Are we going down a different path? As the person that has to produce the show as we record it, and we don't edit. So unlike other shows where you guys get a TV show later and the answer seems like it was 15 seconds, but in real life it was 3 minutes. We don't have the luxury of that. So like picking and choosing is kind of like double dutch and hopping in and out. So yeah, I love your questions as well. My mom says, oh my goodness, he is so funny. He had me laughing the entire podcast. I wish him much success in his comedic career. Yeah, he has his own pod. I listened to it to start the show, and I've listened to a couple episodes since. Very funny podcast concept and conversations over there. Although I vehemently disagree with him about Lovecraft Country. He was kind of shitting on it. And I was like, lucky you weren't around when we were doing our recaps. Cause
I loved that show.
I would have had educated your ass.
I was upset. I really wanted a season 2. And it don't, and this is before the Jonathan Majors foolishness. I really wanted a season 2.
I was like, listen, I see the problem now. that's their white parents talking. You see what I'm saying? I know whenever people get mad at him or disagree, they be pulling that card out.
Right. And you be like, oh,
I know you be
Lord.
like, damn it. Joseph says, I never seen Jamie Presley, Margot Robbie, and Emma Stone in the same room at the same time.
Me
Just
either.
saying. Yes, Mara Weaving either.
They all the same person.
Also, the flyer for that movie Bombshell says it all. I forgot what the flyer said. It was like another blonde woman. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, it's just a bunch of blonde white women. Oh, Charlize Theron, Nicole Kidman, and Margot Robbie, and they all got the blonde bob or blonde hair type. I'll pull it up for you guys to see. But yeah, for sure. That 100% is just like how I'm supposed to know who these white women are.
Right, that's y'all fault for cutting them off the assembly line.
I blame white men, man. They like the same type of white woman every time. I never understood that about Hugh Hefner.
Right, present them to us and act like something wrong with us, and we can't tell the difference.
I'm not a Lothario, but if I had my druthers and the only thing I was trying to do for the rest of my life was just fuck women,
oh, they'd be all shapes and
it would,
sizes.
my menagerie would look. It would look completely eclectic, man. That shit would not just be like Rob just found one. It's like eating avocado toast every day, like every day,
Every
nigga.
day, nigga. You don't want to spice it up with some Italian?
You ain't never want an
some
omelet.
Chinese?
You don't ever want an omelet for
Come on,
breakfast. You just
pizza?
gonna every day. Okay, meal prep
Enchilada,
king.
what is this?
But anyway, let's see what else we got. We got Spotify. Let me check any comments on Spotify. None there. And finally, we got to check Patreon. See if we got any comments on, which one was this? Salty Lake Tears. There we go. Shout out if you're on Patreon, by the way. We did a Lip Smacking Good this week. Mm-hmm. No comments there. We did a Lip Smacking Good, and we did a spoiled movie review for The End of Oak Street.
Yes.
And if you're just a tipper, you got the Lip Smacking Good this week. And before that, you got like a nerd off. Like the Just a Tip people is eating over there too, and it's only $5 a month. You get one extra episode every week. All right, let's go to the poll. The poll: do you think Mormonism is crazier than other religions? Mm-mm. Yes or no?
No.
53% of our audience says yes. 47% say no. I'm with the 47%.
No, because all religions, regardless of how you look at it and regardless of how deep your faith is, if you was to explain it to somebody that did not know anything about religion, it all sounds crazy.
Yeah, I think it's because people probably believe whatever they believe.
Right.
So inherent in their acceptance of their own religion is this idea that, well, the other religions must be crazy.
Right.
Especially these new ones.
Right, regardless of how it sounds, because it all literally sounds crazy.
I just feel like, what if we're 2,000 years away from now that to people it doesn't matter, and like Mormonism to somebody is as old as Christianity in their mind. They're like, it's all old to me, so I believe this one, and it's not crazy. But it's funny living in these times where like, no, that religion is only 100 years old. Y'all crazy. How the fuck is God inventing new shit? No, it's either old or it happened already. Let's go to, how much time have we taken just before the last break? 15 minutes? We'll do one more episode. Let's go to episode 310, Problems. Problems? Help me out now. Jesus Christ, I'm having problems. Library Mary says, yes, on the jump kits for cars. We got one for my daughter when she started college and was driving a few hours back and forth between home and school on breaks. Great investment. It really is.
It really is. Even if you don't drive alone, but particularly if you're out here on these roads by yourself, day or night, even if you don't even go outside of your city, it's just the convenience of you being able to jump and get to help or get to wherever you need to get to. It will get you to where you need it. They even have stuff for tires, but I'm not sure about which one of those are good.
Evie says, I love the episodes when you're talking about what's going on in your life, which is why I like the banter segment so much. Sorry to hear about all the problems you're experiencing. Just like they say, when it rains, it pours. But one thing is certain, Karen really do be knowing. When she mentioned the battery might be going out because of the heat, she's right. Most car batteries are stressed in extreme weather, like when it's really hot in the summer or really cold in the winter. I learned that lesson the hard way.
Oh, no.
Right. Because you're an AI and your batteries, when the batteries don't go right, Oh, that would make so much sense.
Oh no! I didn't say oh no.
And then of course
that was a recording of me.
Karen be knowing, Karen be knowing.
I was right about something.
EV says at the risk of being made fun of, I'm gonna go ahead and say I love Little Caesars. Oh God damn it! Why? Why?
Evie eat like I'm hot and ready. I ain't got to wait.
Why do you make you just want to make everything hard?
That's hilarious. I haven't had Little Caesars in years. I'm not even gonna lie.
Because nobody's first playing is Little Caesars except apparently Arby's EVE. It's good. It's good. If you ask them to drizzle a little garlic butter and Parmesan on it, it's amazing. Well, so is everything.
Garlic and Parmesan butter makes everything taste better.
Yeah, so is everything. I can understand why people would get a Little Caesars pizza. It's economical. Have you seen the cost of an NY slice lately? Not lately, but when I was up there, I saw it. It's definitely not $1 anymore. But it's still better than Little Caesars. And Little Caesars actually costs more than that $1 slice. I'd like to add one more person in the MCU who I think can cook, Ant-Man. Scott was on house arrest, so when he had to cook for himself when his daughter came to visit. Agree. Yeah, that's a good one. I feel like Scott is the type of person that ran through every type of hobby he could to just defeat the boredom of house arrest and had to have done cooking at some point.
Yep.
Now, would I eat in his kitchen? No. He got ants.
I'm about to say he got ants everywhere. No, thank
Absolutely
you.
Not. Would you? Yes, you eat Arby's. Sean says, all right, hear me out. I think Black Panther could cook. One of his superpowers is super taste. In a comic book, he breaks down the exact ingredients and processes that went into a meal by taste alone. Yeah, but you bringing in comic book stuff. We doing MCU. So you like that don't count in the comic book. He could go home and recreate anything he had at a restaurant and then teach the cooks on staff how to make it whenever he wanted. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say T'Challa does not know how to cook.
Yeah, all his food was prepared for him.
Yeah, the only way I could see him knowing how to cook would be if it was part of his Black Panther training. And I'm just not
to be king.
In the MCU, they haven't done enough to build in my belief system that he was in the kitchen training on it. He walks into a KFC and says salt, thyme, basil, oregano, celery, salt, black pepper, dried mustard, paprika, garlic, ginger, white pepper, and dash of MSG. Then he goes home, tries it and adds chili pepper, star, anise, ginger, white pepper, cumin, coriander, and allspice to make it taste amazing. He then teaches his staff the recipe, and wham bam, he can have the best fried chicken ever. Not saying KFC is good, but if you add those 7 spices to it, it hits hard.
Now it's 14 spices.
Right, that's a lot of spices. I literally learned how to taste individual spices and recreate recipes at home because I read Black Panther. That doesn't make any sense. So I had to throw his name out there for the MC's Chef
for reading the comics.
That's not
That's
true.
Hilarious.
That's not how you may know how to do it. That is not. You didn't know it because you read one comic book. It was like, I know what time tastes like now. It's not true. Abia says jump starting helped often in the past. Sean also says, also Karen be knowing he is the number one cause of battery failure. In the summer, it's especially encouraged to park in the garage or someplace with shade to reduce the wear of heat on the battery. Yep, we know. And it's hotter than ever now. We all in a heat dome.
The global warming don't exist. Get out of here. You got places that's not used to heat. All of a sudden up north, they're like, damn, we used to get 100 degrees once or twice a summer. Now it's like several times.
Let's go to YouTube, but first let me say, god damn, 18 comments. These talkie episodes, man, I never know when they're gonna hit and when they're not, because they're not doing topics and we're not doing segments, and then bam, y'all
we just
love
talking.
it.
Y'all like, we like when y'all niggas just talk.
Yeah, I don't know which ones are gonna be like no comments and which one's gonna be a bunch. Let's see. Joseph says problems. Oh, I know why. Probably because a lot of y'all thought this would be our House of the Dragon recap. On YouTube especially.
Yeah.
Joseph says problems. One or more of them planets must be in microbays, aka retrograde.
One of them planets, right?
Feel good says not Rod talking Karen through her spice trip. And Alicia laughed. You gotta walk. You gotta ride the lightning.
Yeah, cause Chad, that shit hit my nose. I was like, what the fuck is this?
You gotta ride the pain, guys. Let it consume you. Let it take you.
I was not ready.
The only way out is through.
Apparently so.
I'll talk anybody through a hot mustard trip. It's a short trip. It's 15 seconds at best.
It's not long. It's just if you ain't prepared for it, you're like,
The real question is,
I can smell the color red.
the real
Wow.
question is, are you ready to take another bite? That's the real question.
That's the real challenge.
And
I
that's
will
when you
see.
pass the test. If you ain't on your mind, if you ain't thinking about it, that like, I gotta get another one. I'll take another hit immediately. I don't give a fuck. I'm past the lightning. I'm the Aaron Rodgers of hot mustard.
Oh no!
John, my mom says, great show. Thanks everyone for the compliments on the salmon dinner. The hardest working podcasters in the world. Y'all are the best. Thank you, Mom. And yeah, the internet loved the video and everything. They were they was like, oh my God, that pan. I know she could cook. Black to Miss Prime says, the way I screamed when it was announced that Justin would be doing season 3 finale recap.
Shout out to the Justin Hive out there.
They real.
Yeah, they real.
Kim Doc says, so excited to hear your House of the Dragon recap with Girardi the Ruin. Safe travels to ATL. Thank you. It was safe. We made it there and back.
We did.
Joseph says, Gambit was frying up them beignets in X-Men 97 and they look perfectly golden brown, LOL. Also, I don't know if Peter can cook, but he probably a good baker because he's good at science. I agree. Peter Colossus could absolutely bake. I'm sure of it. Because the thing about Peter,
chemistry.
he's such a, not because of the math and science. I don't know how great he was at science. It's just that people forget he's like a poet. He's a soft, gentle, sweet soul. The movies never did him justice because he just wasn't on screen enough. And of course, he's never been in an MCU movie technically. So maybe you could take him out on that and be like, I don't think he'll, But like, as an archetype of a character, I think the best iteration of Peter is probably a dude that takes time out to cook. And not like as a power, but just as a meditation practice. He doesn't actually like or want to do violence and fight. It's why he's such a tragic figure, because he's lost so much. His sister, his parents, his country tries to like overthrow him. And then, he goes back and forth between the X-Men and Magneto and all this shit. But yeah.
I know it's not the same, but it's kind of the same. Even though he's not as strong as Invincible, he understands the responsibility of his power, that he's kind of stronger than an average person, but he also understands the consequences and the weight of hurting people and the, and the things that it does and how it impacts everything.
He has a poet's
else.
soul. He's a gentle, strong man. And so, yeah, I can see it. Shamik, but once again, how he's been portrayed in the MCU with maybe, because I have to keep it to the MCU. I can't just not count T'Challa shit in the comics and then count all Peter shit.
Right.
And so far, the ones they've shown on screen of Colossus, it's been so, maybe in the Deadpool one, that one probably could cook, but it's just been very little Colossus on screen.
Right.
Shamika says, so I was going to fuss about not getting my House of the Dragon recap, but after hearing this episode, I'll let it slide. Sound like you guys have been going through it. Happy you can laugh about it now. You did remind me of the check on Baby Girl's AAA plan. I'll be waiting on my recap. Laughing emojis. Like someone said last week, I too low-key look forward to your recaps more than the show. 3 hearts emojis. Thank you both. Thank you, Shamika.
Thank you.
Terry says, Thor trying to raise a daughter. A Gray Bay says, hey, y'all. So Karen kind of wasn't wrong about the battery, at least in a recent situation I know of. My best friend, basically brand new car, wouldn't start the other day and had to get it towed. Turns out the Texas heat indeed was too hot on the battery, and they had to put a new one because the battery was done. Damn. And then Alicia replied, Karen be knowing. Crystal,
yeah, that Texas heat ain't no joke.
all the heat ain't about to be no joke. All the heat.
That's true. All of the heat, no matter where you are in the world,
They say
you're
it's gonna
get
feel
this
like
heat.
110 in Charlotte, in North Carolina, for the next week or so.
Bitch, I know I'm
on
gonna,
some days.
I know what I'm gonna be in the house.
Yeah, my walks will be getting earlier and earlier.
I told you, it's gonna be them 7:30s, them 8 o'clocks.
Like the sun don't even be up and it'd be like 70-something degrees already.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes the sun be down and it still be like, oh, it's still, don't forget, it's 80. Index factor, it's still 9 to 6 at midnight. You be like, goddamn.
Damn, y'all were having a week, says Christoph. Thank you. A-Ray Bay says, the banter is the longest I've ever heard, LOL. The whole show was banter.
The whole show was just banter.
We've done that before. We just didn't call it banter, but I guess we did play the jingle. Brev says, can't stand not being able to talk to a person on the phone for service issues. Spent an hour in the online chat last Friday after work. Mad as fuck trying to fix my phone. Looking forward to the recap with Justin. Karen is right. That Excel update is amazing.
See, I'm glad somebody else got it too. I was right about something.
Karen be knowing. Karen be knowing.
I'm not gonna lie, that's the shit where people talking about one day I was, being ratchet with my friends. The next thing you know, I was excited about a crock pot. That's how the Excel shit feel like, Excel worksheet. It don't mean much, but all of a sudden that bitch lit up and was green. I was like, oh shit, I can see it. That's one of them things where you get excited with, like when we got our electrical opening and trash can, and I was counting the motherfucking days down because I was excited just to be able to wave my hand and that bitch opened up. See, old people get excited about shit like that. So shout out to you for understanding.
Alicia says, liver mush sounds like slavery food. We's free now.
Okay.
You're not going to denigrate my ancestors, Alicia.
No, you're not. And guess what? The thing about being free is free to choose. You ain't got to eat it.
Not everything from slavery was bad.
No, it was not.
Not all the ingenuity that black people had to invent. I mean, shit, the reason your fried chicken tastes like it do now is because of slavery. Because we was in that motherfucker putting our whole foot in there, figuring it out. So, I'm free to eat my liver mush, and you free to not eat any. More mush for me.
Yeah, more much than me. And there are some things that I will not eat, but it's one of them things, but this is something that I choose to.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. Was like, it's kind of interesting that certain foods never got the elevated treatment. Like oxtail gets the elevated treatment now.
That's why that shit is expensive.
$57. But how come like hog maws didn't get it?
Nope,
like what happened? Well, how come you never been like Jerry's Hog Maws Emporium? You can't go down to like, oh, you've been down to...
they haven't found a way to make it presentable to white folks.
You can't go down to like Fifth and Clam and they be like, oh, this dude, he got a restaurant and it's got motherfucking hog maws on the menu. $47 hog maws. They done elevated ham hocks.
Right.
There's no elevated chitlins. This is interesting what didn't make it. I wonder if that's racism too, because like lobster is a poor person's food.
Yep.
That became an elevated
bottom feeder.
That became an elevated food. Like it did not start their way, but someone had the bright ass idea to say, actually, this is for rich people, and then it was like $40 a lobster.
Right.
I wonder what happened.
Right, I know that probably, particularly with the oxtail, pissed people off who used to have that as a staple meal in their rotation. Now I was like, shit, I can't even afford to cook it no more.
Oh well, eventually all the food will be too expensive.
Ain't that the truth?
Like it already is.
Yep.
Adrian says, hilarious show. So I think Nightcrawler can cook, but his food is going to be bland. Germany, the Bavarian region, no seasoning whatsoever, but their beer is fire. Yeah, I don't know enough about German food, but I do think Kirk would be a good cook. I don't know if his food would taste good. That's a good point. I didn't think about the regional part of it. But I think Nightcrawler would cook. I also feel like he'd be doing weird shit like cooking while hanging from the ceiling or some weird shit like the Beast.
Of course.
Curtis says, great show. As a former master audio tech, I disagree with you on the diagnostic fee. Shops and technicians invest tens of thousands of dollars in tools, diagnostic equipment, training, and software. The diagnostic fee is how shops recover their investment in tools. Determining what is wrong with some newer cars is not a simple matter of plug in the machine and replace the parts it tells you to. The diagnostic tools are helpful to guide you to a solution. It's not always the solution. Then why am I paying you $250 if the shit ain't working right? That's all I'm saying. Because what I'm paying you for is to hook up the machine.
Right, to hook up the machine. So, like,
you can't trick me, okay? You used to not charge me for that because you didn't have a machine. Now you got a machine you bought which is supposed to make your job a little easier, and me as a customer, what am I getting out of it? $250 fee. You haven't convinced me that I need this.
Nope.
And I hear what you're trying to say about it, but that's because you're coming at it from the point of view of the sunken cost fallacy. To me, what I would say is, why not just make every repair $10 more?
Right, bake it in the cost.
That's the way I feel about stuff like tipping and stuff. Just make everything a little more expensive, and then we share the price amongst everybody. You shouldn't be charging somebody who's already fucking down bad, whose car won't do whatever, $250 just to look at it. And now the other reason you know it was bullshit is if you got the work done there, they used to waive it.
Yes, they did.
The new company that took over this dealership I'm at, they decided they're just not waiving the fee anymore. What the fuck changed? Like, if I still need to get $1,000 worth of work done, I need to get $1,000 worth of work done. Why are you gonna fuck me on $250 more of it? Because you hooked it up to something. It just seems fucked up, and it seems like usury.
Right.
And I
ain't got nothing to do with your sucking cost.
Yeah, I don't think it is defensible. I think if you just charged everybody $10 more, that would be better for everybody. And if everybody got a diagnostic machine, then everybody charged $10 more for oil change. I don't know, but it got to be better than $250 on the most downtrodden people who have no fucking choice.
Right. I don't have an option.
You know when somebody's fucked when the car gets towed up there, and you're like, on top of that, $250 before we even fucking do anything.
Right.
That's crazy, man. Anyway, battery jump boxes are great to have. Please remember to recharge it after using it. Never. I'm never recharging my battery jump box. I'm just going to, it better work even on 0% charge, because I'm a fucking crazy person, Curtis, that needs to be told obvious things that come on the machine. Nah, I know what it is. You probably work with some dumb motherfuckers, cars, and they be like, I don't know why it's not charging. You like, did you recharge the battery thing? Huh? So yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. When you on that side, I get it, baby.
I know I joked a little bit, and you probably got a little tight because I don't agree with you on the other thing. But you're right about I will remember to charge it. I always do. It can hold 25 charges though, which is surprising to me. I was like, wow,
That's a lot of charges.
This thing, it really do hold that boost for a long time. That's crazy. Aaron says, Rod and Karen, this is on Spotify. Rod and Karen and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad days. Just annoying days. Jiggy's Deidre says 5 stars because this is a classic episode. Titty Sweat Juice needs to be the name of y'all mixtape. I'm just saying, don't waste good titty sweat juice. People just out here throwing them bras away and stuff. That's good money. You throwing away free money. I don't know what you got against it. More titty sweat juice for me.
Apparently so. Have all the titty juice you want.
4 comments on Patreon. Devon says, I love y'all. This episode for me, kind of weird brag, but y'all made me quit all my other podcasts. I now find those people pretentious and boring. Y'all are genuine, honest, and genuinely care about your listeners. You are both also wildly knowledgeable in a plethora of areas and relay it effortlessly without being obtuse. Thank you, Devon. Mm-hmm. Lastly, I'm a newer fan, and in the beginning, I will be honest, I thought saying Rod and Karen are hot was a little weird.
What are they hot about? What's hot about them?
In all fairness, we didn't come up with it. It was Dexter from Shadow Dog Productions decided we needed a slogan.
Yep, and have us the slogan.
And so he just had someone say that, and you know what? That white man cooked with that one.
Yes, he did. Shout out to Dexter.
But now, and Lisa Saint Odom, who did the recording, the first ever one that was recorded for our original intro, was voice actress and actress Lisa Saint Odom. And yeah, it was like this.
I listen to the Black Guy Who Tips podcast because Rod and Karen are hot.
And then I was like, oh, we can get people that do impressions to do some of them. And that's how we ended up with stuff like, J.L. Covan doing John Bernthal.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I listen to the Black Guy Who Tips, all right? Because Rod and Karen are hot. Yeah.
Yeah. And also a terrible Denzel Washington impression.
I listen to the Black Guy Who Tips podcast because Rod and Karen are hot.
That's just Denzel on his off day, apparently.
And that's what it morphed into.
Lastly, she goes on to say, or he or she goes on to say, I saw it randomly at my desk at work. Hell, y'all made. Oh, now I say it randomly at my desk at work. Hell, y'all made the term not hot endearing again. Also, thank you, Rod, for honing your skills so heavily in podcasting. I love your sense of organization and structure. The more I pay attention, the more I notice that you're always working a plan, a strategy, and communications. I love to see a virtuoso do their thing. Thank you.
He does. He does a lot of behind the scenes thing. Like his mind is kind of always ticking, and like I'm aware and I'm alert of that. And he makes a lot of what we do, particularly what I do, because I'm just kind of waka waka waka. Looks really easy and simple, but it's not, because his mind is in 100 different directions. Is the audio running right? Is the video running right? You know, is this running right? Are we talking about this topic too long? Is this boring? Do you care? You know, is the guest being bored? How does Karen feel? Like his brain functions like that. So, you know, me, I'm just kind of along for the ride. Most of the time, he ain't got to worry about me. Like I'm good no matter what. But yeah, he makes it look really, really easy. And when you hear the finished product, you don't get any of that stuff. You just get a finished product.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too because it's all live and it's not edited. So it's so much harder than people think it is. And I think certain people take it for granted. Like when we get certain complaints about the show, part of me is like, let's switch places for 1 minute. Let's switch places for one episode. You think you doing this so perfect and it's so easy and you would figure it out. I'd love to see you give it a shot. I have friends who have podcasts. I have people that have not liked our show and did their own show. And even times like that, sometimes people come back and they're like, oh my God, I see how hard this is. Like what you're doing is not as simple as, like a lot of podcasters, they have their opinions and they can show up. And speaking extemporaneously is important and a huge skill. Being interesting, making that, all that shit matters. But there's no team here.
Right. And there's no producers, no editors. Like, you know, that's a big difference.
Like, I'm the team.
Yes.
So, like, we don't have makeup people. We don't have multiple cameras switching back and forth. No producer backstage. No one's queuing up clips. And some of it, you know, obviously could be done better with enough time and effort. And maybe you reduce it to once a week and you can really, really turn it into a more smooth, like, product. But then you would get less takes and less stuff. And we built the audience that we have, and they're very loyal. And there's a great audience that I'm proud to have listen to our show. And I think those who care, those who really observe, can see like the care in the work and go, you know, those of y'all who are listening to this feedback show, y'all know.
Yes.
You know, y'all are like, oh, I've heard other shows. Now, my goal was never to stop you from listening to anybody else's shows, obviously. But I still take it as a badge of pride and a mark of honor that you would go, I think what they're doing is so good that I won't just accept anybody's shit. Because as a person who is a creative, I mostly see our show, as much as I love our show, I still see like what I can do better. I still see like, damn, I fucked this up, or this segment wasn't perfect, or man, we spent too much time. So to hear somebody be like, nah, you guys are killing it and your care shows, thank you.
Yeah, it means a lot. And it's also one of those things where people go 10,000 hours. Like they say that they don't say that number for no reason. And you have really put in your 10,000 hours, because we have, you know, thousands of shows, but all these shows are on an hour long. You know,
right.
Some of them are like 3 and 4 hours. You know, depend on the length of the show. So you put your time in to make things look simple and make things look easy. And I didn't think about this one day. We was doing, I think, a pregame of Balls Deep or something. I think pregame with Justin. And he might have been like in the room or something like that. And it's something that I didn't realize I have, like an on switch and an off switch. And Justin was like, yeah, you could be talking to Karen, but he said the second Robbie, like, it's time, he was like, it's a switch. He was like, yeah, you're still the same person, but it is like a switch that kind of lights up and comes on, and you're kind of alert and you're there and you're centered. I was like, yeah, because it's something like that with those 10,000 I've been trained to do. Yes. You get my initial responses. Yes, it's all organic and things like that. But there are some things, because we have done this long enough, that I've kind of trained, and some of it is kind of autopilot that I automatically kind of know how to do and know how to navigate and have a better understanding. And I can adapt and adjust a lot better than I used to do, because there used to be a time where, like, if something was to happen, and Roger, I don't want to say Roger would be to go down. Like if he was having technical difficulties, something like that, and we were still recording live, I used to just let it be silent, because I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do. But now, bitch, it's my show too. I can banter, I can talk, I can make jokes, I can crack shit. You know, I can keep the show, quote unquote, going a much better, you know, than I, you know, used to could do, out of the confidence and out of the hours. And me and Roger, you know, we kind of, you know, talked about that. And those were something that I didn't even know that was something that I quote unquote needed to do, if that makes sense. But it makes sense, because we are a partnership and we are in this together.
Yeah, and as like with anything, we can always get better.
Yes.
And we still will, and we will get better as we continue to do it. This show is not the show we were making years ago, and it won't be the show we make years from now. But thank you for noticing the hard work, because it is hard work, and we are doing the hard work to hopefully make it look easy and like something y'all could take for granted. And then when you go listen to other people, be like, nope, this ain't it.
Yeah.
Eugenio says, this must have been the weekend for car issues. I got hit slowing at a yellow before the light went red. A work van hit me from behind. I think he expected me to go through the light and speed up, I think. Anyway, I totally remember Letty Mae Daniel lip acting episode. I hadn't realized how long it's been. I've been listening to the Blackout Tips. You guys are just a regular part of both my wife and my life. Oh. He also said, okay, the 3 superheroes that can cook to me would be Luke Cage. He could cook because he's an ex-felon who spent a lot of time taking care of himself. Plus, he and Jessica have a little girl. You know, he's totally a girl dad. I agree. Mm-hmm. Luke Cage can cook now.
I think when he was younger,
when he came out of prison at first in Harlem and was living the struggle, he was just let me order some coffee. Let me say something about coffee.
It being black.
Let a woman see these diesel pectorials, and then I'm going to smash. But I feel like him as Jessica Jones' husband, and I forget that little girl's name, but as her dad, mm-hmm. I feel like Luke Cage he's a happily stay-at-home dad if he has to be.
Yeah, and Jessica don't cook. I can tell
you Jessica don't cook. Mm-hmm. That's why he had to cook.
Yeah, so they wouldn't eat.
If Jessica cooked, they'd just be eating fucking brown liquor for dinner. I agree.
Cigarettes.
I agree with Steve Rogers, but not for the reasons you had. He seems to be the person who's always very responsible and learning how to cook for yourself just seemed to be part of his character. I hear what you're saying, but I want to emphasize the can cook as not the ability to cook, but would make great food. I think Steve Rogers would not make great food for himself. I think Steve Rogers would make great food if he cooked for other people.
Yes,
that's like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's not selfish.
It's an intimacy thing for him.
But if he had to cook for himself, he'd eat Hamburger Helper every night and be like, I can't believe the technology has advanced so much that we can help hamburger.
Come on, he would eat some Chef Boyardee and keep it trucking.
And he got that super surgeon serum, so it don't even really matter what he put in his body. He probably
Tony's pizza and keep it pushing.
Yeah, he'll never lose his foot. He can eat Little Caesars.
Yes, he could. His cholesterol would not go up.
But going home, as Karen said, and cooking for his family. Once again, I stress, can cook is not the ability to cook, but to cook food that is delicious and I want to eat. Steve Rogers in the current times, no. Steve Rogers, once he went back and had to be a stay-at-home dad.
With Peggy?
I believe so.
Yeah, Peggy ain't gonna cook. She come home, she got to cook meal every night.
Yeah. A lot of his language is and also Nightcrawler, if you read the comics, he's a romantic. A lot of his language is flowery and poetic. Cooking is a romance language, and he will be fully well-versed in. I think also because he's religious, and he's very, religious in the way of, I want to help other people. I could see him cooking. I feel like he would use that even as a skill to, convert people on the low. Lola says, I appreciate the AAA experience. I had a similar one a few weeks ago. The trick is to hit 9 or 0, the one that gets you to a live person. Also, I called and did the text message version of the trick to trick the system. It worked like a charm, by the way. Love how real the both of you are. It is so refreshing and beautiful. Eargasm. Oops. Can I put this in the comment without being censored? I guess I'll find out. Lola, they don't censor eargasm. Also, you put an I in eargasm, so maybe that's why they didn't censor it. But they don't censor it over here. I don't know what you. I'm sure there's something they censor.
I don't know what you got to say, but apparently none of y'all have crossed the line yet.
And yeah, and we appreciate you. And you do have to keep it real because I don't know. I think we all go through stuff. Something like hearing that we had an annoying week is probably relatable to many, many, many people. And like I said, man, like I appreciate people that signed up for Patreon and Premium because a couple more people did sign up this week. It helps. Like I try. This is not a what do you call it? The telethon. Like I'm not trying to raise money right now, but I think just transparently, when we talk about stuff on the show, like broke and unemployment rate and black people losing jobs at a higher rate and all those, there's a way that I think sometimes people hear, especially if you're a person that lost a job or a person, you're probably hearing it and going, well, look at this motherfucker. He works doing a podcast for a living. Yeah, but anything that affects, especially the black community's bottom line, affects ours.
Yeah, it does.
Like, there's so many people that had to cancel their memberships or not renew or like, that happens a lot. Like, especially over the last year or two with Trump administration. Like, our money is not what the money was a few years back even. Just because of all the shit that black people are going through.
Right.
When black people are doing well, we're doing well. When black people are doing bad, we're doing bad. And I'm not saying we're doing bad as in like we can't make a living, but
we feel the impact of it.
Yeah,
yes.
and also we're not rich or trying to portray that. We're not on Instagram doing that fake shit where like I only tell you guys about all the ups of my life.
Right.
Or whatever, or like I try to be fake rich. Like here's me and Karen at a red carpet event in nice dresses with shades on, and then just but then don't share that we ate ramen pride that night. So we try to just be honest, and being honest is like we're doing okay, but at the same time you run into a week of problems and you like, damn, I do want to bitch about this.
I want somebody to hear about it.
Yeah, I ain't saying it's the worst thing in the world, but yes, it kind of did suck, and we all know what that feels like.
Right.
All right, that's it for Patreon. Did Spotify have any comments on problems? I think I forgot to check. Let's see. Problems 2. Aaron says, Ryan and Karen. Oh wait, no, we said this. Okay. Who I did.
We did YouTube.
All right, we didn't do the poll.
Okay.
If you have a car, do you own a jump starting kit? Yes or no?
I do now, so
me and Karen both do. 41% do. 59% do not.
I believe that.
Hey, I used to not. I'm telling you, man, it's not as expensive an investment as you think. I think it's worth it for the time that you. It's just when it is the time, you ain't got to call nobody, no AAA. You don't need to depend on the kindness of a stranger. Right. Worry about being stranded. If it's in the rain, whatever, it's got you taken care of. I think it's worth it, but that's just our opinion over here. You don't have to do anything, but I would. I wish I had always had one.
Yeah, it is worth the investment, and something like that. You're gonna. Particularly if you take care of it, which the bulk of the time is going to be in your trunk, excuse me, you're going to have years worth of investment. Not only for you, you could be like, somebody else be like, hey, I need a jump. You could be like, here you go. And you ain't got to worry about finagling your car or trying to get, to them. You could basically hook it up and jump them, and they can go on about their lives without all that interaction.
All right, one more break.
If you live the type of lifestyle that I live, you out here in these streets and you hustling, an entrepreneur like me, why not do it safe?
Psycho.
Music.
My lifestyle, Jack, I'm a hustler. My income came in, I'm a hustler. You gotta understand, I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler. I'm a legit entrepreneur. I'm a hustler. I sell things, I'm a hustler. I'm a contact entrepreneur, I'm a hustler. I have no I'm a hustler. My lifestyle, Jack, I'm a hustler. My income came in, I'm a hustler.
All right. The next episode is episode 3311, Fuck Them Kids. A House of the Dragon recap. 5 comments. Marissa says, off the white working class. Rod, I heard you make this comment on For All Nerds podcast and was like, damn, I should leave him feedback, but it's not his show. Maybe I'll tweet it. Then I said, nah, wait. If I know Rod, he's going to mention it on his recap and he might get even more. And look at God. As sure as Oaf going to drink and Bernie going to pout, here we fucking go. Run that shit back, player. Y'all have me cracking up in every recap. So glad. So glad. We
Glad you
appreciate that.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I wrote down Off the White Working Class, Halle Berry, and Hugh MC Hammer, and was like, I'm cooking. And that's what I thought on Sunday. But I don't know if I'm cooking, to be honest. I feel like I'm cooking, and y'all could be like, those names were whack. But there's more coming for that as a tease coming up when we get to the email portion of the feedback.
Okay.
Sean says, I'm all for restorative justice. But didn't you feel like justice was restored when Orman's dignity within his body went up in flames? The biggest question going into the break, though, is can Aegon get Aemon away from that WAP, which is ancient pussy, long enough to get anything meaningful done? That's a good question. I feel like a lot of people believe this turn that Aemon's taking can't last.
I don't think it will either.
But the other part is like, whatever the fuck happened to Daemon and Harrenhal has lasted.
Yeah,
he has not reverted. Like he is still like, I am here committed to my role in the realm, which is to see Rhaenyra Targaryen on the throne.
And that's the goal. And come hell or high water, even if I got to lie to her about what my black baby did, I would do anything to protect her, to keep her on that throne, right?
I can't wait to see, though. Finally, Off the White Working Class acting like a Bernie bro who voted for Trump. He is the least likely to survive to the end of the show. The final episode did not disappoint. Neither did y'all. Great work. Thanks, Sean. Thank you. Hustle No Flow says, one thing about Daemon, he's all war, but those high towers fake surrender the last time, and he wasn't getting burned twice.
Yeah, you know what?
Good point.
That is valid. I think when he got back and he realized that he got, he was like, I don't give a fuck what you say, never again.
I thought that was a big part of not listening to Corliss because Ormond faked surrender and gave a fake Darren. So how do you trust anything they're talking about? Great point, Hustle No Flow. I didn't even think of it. Evie says, thank you for another great season of recaps. I really enjoyed it. So happy that the cat daddies got to go out the way they wanted. I think that window Helena jumped out of is cursed because isn't that the same one Tommen jumped out of? Yeah, that's true. She did it first. Race didn't give a single damn. Looking forward to the next season. I think, yeah, which is interesting because it's a parallel. Even when it was her own son, Cersei didn't really give a damn when Tommen jumped out that window.
No, child. She was like, oh, well.
I feel like that's a sign that a person is too far gone when someone jump out the window and they be like, oh, shit, I just read the tapestry. It says I'm on the throne.
She looked at them. She was like, I hate to say this. Sorry to this man. When she read that tapestry and realized she jumped out that window.
Right. I look forward to the next season. I think whoever gets the throne, there really can't be any real winners because there will be a lot of casualties, and I think most of them will be the dragons. I'm still rooting for everyone black, though. May they all survive the final season. We'll see. Ms. Barnes says, I just wanted to say thank you, Queen Karen and her consort, Sir Roderick, for another outstanding season of recapping House of the Dragon. I always look forward to your thoughts on the episodes every week. Where else can I get great hits such as Lord DEI, the theme music to Harrenhal, and the Winterfell Cat Daddies? There is no other recap for House of the Dragon better than House Tips.
Yeah, the Cat Daddies made my season. It was just anytime. It was one of them things where anytime they popped up on the screen, I was just like, you knew it was going to be a good time. So when they was like, oh, we gonna battle, I was like, oh, we gonna get to see a lot of them this episode.
Right. And this is the one where we got Justin on it too. So like it was super fun because we haven't got to talk to Justin about it other than a little bit on the pregame.
Right.
On YouTube, Kim says The Last of Us was trash after they killed Joel. I quit watching. The other characters do stupid stuff. Black Demon's Prime says, man, when the game came out and Joel died in the first 20 minutes, the game got review bombed to hell. Yeah, but you gotta be careful with that, Black Demon's Prime, because the real one of the reasons it got review bombed to hell is because it stars a couple of LGBTQ characters in a lot of people's estimation, and a lot of these same people that are like Gamergate hated on that game, but
Yes,
not just because of Joel going out, but because they didn't want to play as a queer woman in the show. And
that's why I got review bombed.
Yeah, and so that's, it's like a little column A, little column B. Some people just don't like that Joel get killed off. Some people are like, I hate gay people. So I personally, I like 2 more than 1. I think it's a better game. I think it's not just gameplay wise. I actually think the story is better. And the first one is a masterpiece of a story, but that second one to me, it just is.
It's about empathy, and people aren't naturally empathetic.
Yeah, which is why, people reject that game. I get it, but I think a big part of why they reject it is because most people are not naturally empathic in that way, and making them play as a character whose decisions they don't like is something they just can't get behind in a video game. And I guess even on a TV show, you can't even watch it. That being said, the way the show is structured with just 8 episodes or whatever, the way they have to do the progression for Ellie in season 2 is so like jarring, because it's not like a video game where you can spend like 20 hours sneaking around and being smart and coming up with all these strategies. A lot of stuff for the action to occur is just her running into shit, to fucking it up, and then we get all the action pieces. So yeah, I feel you on that. Nesto says, hey Justin, we need him on the recaps more often. Well, in a couple years maybe we'll have him on too. Okay. The problem, like I said, with the recaps is it has to be very flexible the day of, and even something like this, in order to make sure I could do it at 7:00 on that time, I basically need to move it a whole day back. Because when on the days before, y'all don't see this, but sometimes I'm really taking my notes up until like 30-40 minutes for showtime. So anyway, Neto says, I was howling with laughter when Orman found Ulf in the privy, and then again the way he started retching when Roddy's stump was squirting blood at him, followed by him yelling no while Roddy is waving his arms with glee as Ulf turns to burn them. It was so fucking funny. And of course, I'm alive, imbecile, after Aegon hobbles over to Aemon. Hilarious. And after he slapped him. Kristoff says, yes, Big J-Mon in the house. Kim Doc says, yes, I love the new nicknames. Elite work. We'll make sure you can recall them, all of them, Sir Roderick. And shout out to Queen Karen and Jormon Jai Tower. LOL. The dragon math about to get sad for Rhaenyra, man. And killing the High Septon is crazy work. Yeah, the High Septon killing.
Oh, there's going to be consequences to that.
The people are not going to fuck with that. I'll say, I started Fire and Blood and it's good as fuck. With illustrations and everything. Doing a read along with the narrator to keep track of who and what all is happening. I won't say a thing though. Rhaenyra, green heart emojis. Rhaenyra tried to be the realm's delight, but her cruel error is upon us. Can't say she didn't try though. Damn. P.S. I'm alive. Everybody loves that. Kristoff says, completely agree with Justin. Daemon versus Aemon needs to happen. Daemon versus Aemon needs to happen. I feel like
next season.
I feel like it's been building just like the Battle of the Bastards. Yeah, that's going to be an epic episode. Don is nice, says, yo, I swear talking about Aemon sucking titties sound like you were describing Homelander. It can't be just be a woman of a certain age. She also got to be lactating. Y'all crack me up. And could have been says, flipped it and reversed it. Laugh my ass off. Thanks, buddy. Let's see. On Spotify and then Patreon, if you guys had any comments. On Spotify, we had 5 comments. All right, let's check them out. Let's open the comments. Young Yogi says, I love this recap as much as I love the final episode. Justin was a great addition to the conversation. Oh, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. I'll give you a little like emoji for that. Oh, you deserve it. Big Law says, Rod and Karen, imagine if Darren made a habit of trolling Orman by farting at the dinner table while he was trying to enjoy his roasted pheasant. That would have made me laugh. Darren don't seem like the farting type though, but yeah. Renee says 2 more years until we get the Blackout Test House of Dragons recap. Sigh, great episode as always. Hope you can enjoy a break now. We will.
And
Kisha
we'll
says,
be back.
damn, I love your recaps. I just be laughing my ass off. Thank you, Keisha. And finally, Mr. Spotify says the episode art couldn't be more perfect. Per usual, no crumbs. And having Long King Justin was a added bonus to y'all's already hilarious comprehensive recap series. Thank you, Mr. Spotify. And it is funny because the Lawn King comes from Justin on the pregame talking about his lawn care situation.
Yes.
And me and Karen, who live in an apartment, have no lawn, just really getting off on the eliteness of his lawn game.
Yes, and keeping the deers out of his lawn.
And keeping the neighbors jealous. We
Yes.
love to see it. We stay in the Lawn King.
That is a keeping up with the Joneses is keeping up with the Justins.
Yeah. Natasha says, I just stopping in to say this episode was so much fun. Thanks for taking the time to cover House of the Dragon for us. Nah, man. Thank y'all for listening and sharing. So many of y'all shared. Y'all did so great on the feedback this year.
Y'all
Only like one time did anyone violate. Y'all were so good about not spoiling stuff or writing in with your prophecies and stuff and your predictions.
Yeah, and that keeps it fun for us.
Yeah, we don't care about any of that shit, and neither does the rest of the audience.
Right.
And you being smarter than us means nothing to us.
We don't care.
Because we don't even care if we sound stupid. I'd rather be stupid and be surprised and y'all get to enjoy that with me than to be like, actually, I know what's going to happen. I was right. That as much as I love being right, it just wouldn't matter if we was cheating or y'all was helping us cheat by being like, well, what about the prophecy?
Half the fun is our hypothesis.
Yeah. The poll was Orman's death too much for you? One person, which means 5% of the poll. There's not a lot of people voted in this poll. But one person said, yeah, it was too much. 5%. 95% of us said no. Okay? Burn him. He's a witch. That's what I say. All right, let's take another break and we'll be right back.
Psycho.
What a nigga gotta do to get some sucky around this motherfucker? Guess y'all pogs still do it for $40 now. Donald Trump, you done. Gave these bitches some money, now they acting bougie as fuck. Shit.
All right. Voicemail time. Let me know if y'all can't hear the voicemails, because y'all know that happens from time to time.
Right.
But hopefully y'all can hear the voicemails and I won't have to switch browsers, but I'm going to start playing it now.
Hi, Rod and Karen. This is your cousin Kyra from Boston. I am also very behind and catching up with everything. So I'm listening to the Rob Hayes Returns episode, and I am at Guess the Race. And I had to pause the episode to call in and give my guess. Because you said this happened on Florissant and Lindbergh. 1, St. Louis, Missouri. As a St. Louis, Missouri. Number 2, black. Automatically. Like, I am 100% certain it's black. Number 3, you need to have Rob Hayes back on the show. I think I'm newer to him, but loving this episode. It's absolutely hilarious. Don't know how he missed the interval of 25, but I'm glad he caught on at the end. Anyway, love y'all. Hopefully I'm right. I think I am. I'm like 99.3% confident in my answer. But let me press play so I can find out if I am. Love y'all. Talk to y'all soon.
All right, she did call right back. No one, okay, they can hear in the chat. Cool. She did call right back. So we're going to find out if she was right about her guess. I've forgotten because it's been long enough. Also, love Rob Hayes. Love Inconsistent Podcast.
Yes.
Listen to it all the time.
He's the fucking best.
But also, if you guys knew how hard I worked to get him back on the show, because all the emails back and forth for him forgetting and then remembering and me reminding him and then direct messaging and email and to get this date right, worth it. But man, it was a lot of work. So maybe I should start working on him being back, and then we'll get him sometime in like October.
Yes. So we can get the months out the way.
Okay, I called right back because I forgot the original reason why I called in. But Rob was talking about like if you just beat somebody up, then it's assault and it's just assault and battery. And so you guys are at the point of the show where you're discussing the crime spree, like if it happens several days apart, is it a crime spree? But here's my question. If you've beaten up several people's asses, then it is an assault and battery spree? Like, if you beat up more than 3 people in the same day, are we considering that a spree? Or if we're going by Rob Hayes' definition, is that just assault and battery?
Right.
Just want to know for me. All right.
Yeah, I need a lawyer that knows. A lawyer somewhere knows the answer to that. I don't know.
You know they do.
Yeah. Professor Caretha called in.
Rod and Karen, hi, it's Caretha at Prof. Corey on social media, dropping you a note because I just finished reading The True Confessions of First Lady Freeman. It is the debut novel of Deisha Philyaw, the woman who wrote the short story collection, The Secret Lives of Church Ladies, in 2020. And I just am over the top in love with this woman ever since she came out with The Secret Lives of Church Ladies. And so I have gotten myself commissioned to write a review of her debut novel. And so I just finished reading it. It'll come out September 29th. But the reason I could not help but think about you, Rod, as I read this, is that, you have often made the comment that you think megachurch pastors must be atheists. And so even though she's a first lady and not the pastor, that is one of the things that she articulates in ways that really made me think of you. So I marked the pages, Rod, where that most came through. So I'm sending you a screenshot of those pages, but I just had to mention it to y'all because I know you love to read. This book is going to be so huge. She is the lead title for her publisher, Mariner Books, and they are giving her the royal treatment. It's been amazing to watch what it looks like to be the lead title for this kind of Big Five publishing house. I've been watching the journey the whole time, and it's just freaking amazing. But I'll tell you this. Remember Honk for Jesus with Sterling K. Brown and Regina Hall? Mark my words. The True Confessions of First Lady Freeman is going to get a Hollywood deal, and it will be as good as, if not better, than Honk for Jesus. This is an amazing story. It's hilarious, even though it's dealing with some really real shit. And I think it's going to really create a important conversation in churches, especially. So, yeah, the next person I'm leaving a voice note for is my pastor, because she would definitely identify with so much of the critique of the church that comes through in this novel. So yeah, I thought of you and I thought about Pastor. I'll catch you later. And Karen, I hope you're still, being open to the walking and the running. I think I remember you mentioning Black Girls Run. I've mentioned that to you before, and just a reminder that they definitely.
She got cut off at 3 minutes. But yeah, it sounds like a cool book. I'll add it to my list of stuff to check out. And she did send an email with some of the pages. It's a little long, so I probably won't read all of it. But she did segment out a part that just says Rod next to it, so I assume this is the part you want me to read. Karen, you gonna say something first about the Rotary Club?
She was talking about Black Girls Run. They do have a chapter here in Charlotte, I think. And so it's just one of those things where we do so much, we're busy, and it's one of those things where it's like, oh, do I want to have to actually dedicate? Because when you do something like that, it's a dedication to it, and I would have to be sure that I would have to, box out time. A lot of times they do that shit on the weekends when we're recording, either early in the morning, afternoons, or whatever. So that's the biggest reason why I have not made a commitment to those things yet. I would rather kind of do something individually, kind of at this time, kind of just where my life is at this time, because it would be more convenient for me to, do what me and Roger doing. We go walking, and we walk kind of early in the morning. Sometimes we catch a lot of variations of those groups out there running and things like that. And so for me, that right there would be the most convenient thing right now. Right now, I think I've been working overtime at work, so it's kind of even harder to kind of dedicate that time. But I'm going to get back into the habit of dedicating myself more to those things. I do realize when I was doing those things, you mentally felt better. Not that there's anything wrong, anything like that, but it's just something about the activity and the movement and the sun and all those things that just puts you in a better place. And I know for me personally, even when me and Roger are out walking, we listen to podcasts and we talk. And so in my brain, when you do things like that, or you're exercising or you're walking, for me, it's a freeing of the mind, because it's like, things are happening, but it gives me a time. Particularly, I know I love walking with Roger because we talk about nerd stuff. So for an extent, it's a check out of reality, if that makes sense. Like, we not talking about anything heavy. We talking about shit, not trying to find me. It matters, and politics do impact, these things, no matter how much. A lot of these nerds talking, particularly when things was first happening, they was like, keep politics out of my gamings. And some of the gamer podcasts like, hey, this shit will impact you. Here come the tariffs. Now all of a sudden, politics did get into your gaming. That's why the Switch went up and they keep fucking going up because of politics. But still, it's just really I enjoy doing like these types of things. Not that I won't never get into those things, but as of right now, my schedule's just too busy.
And the lines that it looks like she put my name next to are, I guess, from the perspective of one of the characters. It says, and I've always felt conflicted about having my lifestyle funded by our congregation, some of whom can barely afford their rent, and who worship a God I'm not entirely sure I believe in. I'm definitely not on speaking terms with him, but for nearly 20 years, I've kept those feelings and doubts locked up tighter than the Tiffany bracelets in my biometric safe. And another line she had was, let's see. I wasn't, though, not anymore. Like I said, I wasn't even sure God was real. He certainly didn't speak to me the way so many Christians claim he spoke to them. So my come up, as Jetta referred to my marriage, to my life, demanded a 24/7 performance. I had to look, act, and breathe the part. God was merely a co-star in the First Lady Freeman show. Yeah, like I said, man, that's one of the things I say that I think is funny and true. And it probably can piss off both sides of the equation. I mean, there's Christian people who get pissed that I make that joke. And there's atheists who often get pissed that I'm making that joke. Like, what are you trying to say about atheists? We don't have moral character and we would do this? I'm saying no, but I mean, I don't know how people can believe in God the way they say they do and do some of the things I see mega church pastors do routinely and get away with. There's a reason that Drewski sketch went so viral.
Yeah, there's a reason.
That is an experience that a lot of us resonate with. When you're in here
and seen it in person,
and you're seeing a dude walk into the pulpit with a wrestling WWE promo, and you're just like, I don't think this about Jesus no more.
Right.
All right, last one.
Hey, Rod and Karen, this is Rev TT Kim, and I'm hoping you all are having a good time at the NABJ. And safe travels and all that good stuff. Or you had a good time. I can't remember when it was. But anyway, I was calling about episode 3310, Problems. And I wanted to let you know that the word dyke, D-Y-K-E, is actually not a slur. There's actually an organization called Bikes on Bikes, and they were formed back in the 70s to support pride events, and they come out on motorcycles, and it's pretty thrilling to see them. I think the guy that tow truck driver was probably referring to, if he was referring to a black woman, the more appropriate word would have been stud, which is the word reserved for mask-presenting black women. And, of course, there's stud femme, which is stud and femme. There's butch and all these other words. But dyke is actually, it's not a slur. So you can say the D word. Anyway, there's so much else going on in the episode that was really good and great.
That could be interpreted all types of ways.
Liver mush, but thank you for letting me know that it's out there, I think. I hope you guys have a great day. You have no more internet troubles or car troubles. And, yeah, that's it. Y'all take care. Great show.
Thank you. I'll say this. I'm still not going to say it because part of the reason I'm not scared, you scared me at the end when you was like, you can say the D word. I'm like, then you would have said it. You can't trick me. You just said you could say it. Then you was like, well, you can say the D word. But also as a like hetero, cisgender man, all that stuff, I personally I understand. I grew up with it being a slur. It did have malicious intent.
The way it was used.
People definitely said it, and I know it's like the word queer, which is no longer considered a slur, and it's just a descriptive term.
Right.
But for me,
the
that
way
one,
it was used, and the thing, a lot of times it's just the way it was used and the tone and the intent of it was not good.
Disrespect is a subjective thing, obviously, and I'm not saying I would never use it disrespectfully. Honestly, I don't even think that dude in the car was using it disrespectfully, and maybe he's up on it in a way I'm not.
Right.
But even if you just like Google is the DYKE a slur, there's like it's been reclaimed by queer spaces amongst lesbians. They have a community called Dykes on Bikes, but I feel like that to me is like there's a fishing. There's this. I bought my dad some gear from them actually. There's a fishing like influencer group of black men who fish, and they call niggas on the river. I think they have reclaimed it, and they do have the name of that group, but I don't think a white person should or would refer to them as niggas on the river and be cool with it.
Agreed.
Like I would prefer that a white person don't say it. So I feel like I look at a lot of stuff through a racial lens, and so that's the best way I can relate to it is I wouldn't say it. But yeah, I was just describing an awkward situation. At no point did I feel like that dude was trying to be like homophobic or anything.
Because context and intent matters, and we live in a world where people are like, "I'm gonna throw intent out the window," and you're like, "No, bitch, you can't throw intent out the window. That shit matters."
And honestly, there's like a lot of discussions around LGBTQ issues and races. Honestly, every issue. Now I think about it, that you could be technically correct, but it's almost so nitpicky that it's not worth it. And I'll go from a black lens because maybe black people listening can relate to that more. But I'll just bring up this one. This is one that we all know. When someone uses the term transgender as like a noun as opposed to like a descriptor, like an adjective or whatever. And so they'd be like, that person is a transgender. That's not technically how that language works anymore. Like, I don't know if it ever worked that way, but it's a descriptor. You're a trans woman, you're a trans man, you're a transgender person. You're not a transgender. It's like saying a black. Like he's a black guy versus, he's a black. It does connotate something different. You're not familiar with the language, maybe even negative connotations. But if you're picking up on somebody and they just say that guy's a black, but they're not trying to be racist, maybe it's just not their first language or they're not familiar talking about these topics or whatever, you could derail the whole conversation and dunk on them and be like, actually, well, that is not how you say it.
And all you do is make people mad and turn them off.
It just isn't normally fruitful in anything other than making me feel like I have the right language.
Right. Right. Yes.
And so I think if we remove the ego from a lot of those like language correction exchanges, it's fruitful, which is why I didn't correct the dude. Cause I mean, I think I would have felt differently if he had said something like, I don't know, something that I deemed as like, he is saying it is bad that this woman likes other women.
Yes.
I would have been like, oh, that's fucked up, you know? But like, to be like, I think this woman tried to holler at me and my woman, or she tried to take my woman. I don't know. But yeah, that's what happened. I'm like, yeah, I can relate. That's hilarious. And we just move on. There's no need to like go into a bunch of detail, and I share a bunch of stories and all this stuff. I know it's a phenomenon a lot of people experience. Like it was just different to me than if he would have be like, I don't know. There's a way he could have said it that I would have been like, oh, he just used it as a slur.
Yes. Yeah. Like I said, because intent matters. And it's also, from my perspective, it's one of those things where your language and tone and how it's presented and what we are talking about actually matters. And also and I get it, but sometimes internet language and speak rolls into real life, and people don't function like the internet. The internet makes everything seem fucking absolute. And real people don't function like that. There's a lot of gray when you actually talk to people in real life.
Yeah.
And so when you're talking to somebody and like you say, they don't have no malicious and no intent, and then here you come, you're going to piss people off. You're going to make them mad. And then you're going to run to the internet and cry about how you being bullied when you just could have just let the shit go.
Yeah, the internet kind of comes structured and with social media. It presents structure and rules and norms and black and whites, and we all get off on the conflict that is created by it. But I just think everyone's talking past each other most times, and
they don't listen.
I'm trying my best to just be better about this and more intentional about this, and I think it's working. But it's not gonna. I'm human, so it won't always work. But I'm trying to be a lot better about. Dude, I think we just kind of want the same thing, and I'm just not going to fuss at you about it because at the end of the day, if we both get what we want, both of us would have been happy with whoever won this battle. And the battle is taking too much out of us distraction-wise for me to give a fuck. Perfect example is like the people that are like, I won't vote for anyone with the AIPAC shit. Okay. It's not like I'm pulling for AIPAC. Ain't never gave me $1. I've never. There's no reason I need to sit around and pull for them. End of the day, if you got a candidate that agree with everything I agree with, and also was like, I don't take AIPAC dollars, I'm not gonna go withhold my vote. So sure, do the work. I'm not gonna do the work for you, obviously. But yeah, if you get that on the ballot, and that's the only difference between
get that on the ballot,
whether the fuck we gonna vote for this person or not, then I'm voting for it. It's just that easy, and I don't know why I would spin out about the theory of disagreement. I don't know why people spin out about the mayor of New York if you don't live in New York. Right. I don't know why people spin out about Texas if you're not living in Texas and you're not able to vote for or against Jasmine Crockett and James Tallarico. There comes a point where, as I get older especially, where I'm just like, what is my issue here and what is worth fighting about? Because they exploit the fact that we will fight over a theory more than the fact that what we will do in practice and the power that we get from putting things into practice. A big thing going on with the trans people in the WNBA thing is 100% about that. I can make these people fight in theory and it's going to work. Because whether they're transphobic or they're just feel like this is just what sports is supposed to be, or they feel like I'm protective of women's spaces, or if they're like, I'm inclusive and I want to promote diversity and I think trans people should be included in sport. Whatever it matters, whatever it is, it's not happening. It does matter that it's not happening.
Yes, those are facts.
People try to dismiss but let's argue over the theory. No. I don't want to argue over the theory.
Right.
I want to argue over things in practice. If you want to put a rule in place, let's make sure that the thing is happening. I think that's easy. You know what else is, it's just going to turn people off if I make this analogy. But anyway, there are things that I'm going to make the analogy. Fuck it. There are things like lynching. This is an extreme example. They're not the same. Understand. But lynching occurred in a lot of southern states because they would say black men are raping white women. Now, did 0 black men rape 0 white women? No. There was some black men, I'm sure, that sexually assaulted a white woman. I'm sure. By the sheer numbers of it had to have happened.
Agreed.
But then you kill a bunch of innocent people because of this theory of what may or may not have happened at some point. And if you ask a bigoted white person, well, hey, you're lynching innocent black men, they go, well, this should never happen. There should be 0 rapes. And you're like, that does not give you the right to just persecute every black man.
Right.
And so that is the sleight of hand Republicans are using. And a lot of people are going to go along with it because sports is a very finite line of we've segmented gender our whole lives. So it's easy to argue a very black and white 0 tolerance issue.
Agreed.
Whether you find that fruitful or not, I don't find it fruitful, but whether you find that fruitful or not in theory, in practice, what is happening is the persecution of trans people outside of sports. I actually don't know any trans people whose main goal and focus and dream is I need to compete in sports. Like a lot of them are like, can I get an ID?
job?
Can I have a job where I don't get fired and it's legal to discriminate against me because of my gender expression?
Can I have somewhere to live?
Can I have hormone therapy? Can I, if my parents consent and they want to protect me, is that okay? I see so many men that praise Dwayne Wade, but they really only praise Dwayne Wade because of his masculinity as an icon, not really because of the actual agreement on the humanity of his daughter and her trans identity expression. They don't really understand that part, but they do understand when a black man is emotional and protective. They do relate to that.
Agreed.
So I say all that to say some of this stuff falls into the theory of it, and we fight about the theory. And so sometimes with language, it's like that. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say the D word in practice just because I'm not sure of it. I don't know. I appreciate you saying that it's fine, but it doesn't feel fine to me coming out of my mouth.
Agreed.
So I'll just err on this. No one's gonna be like mad that I didn't say it, right? Mm-hmm. But if I were, or like when I was in that car and I heard that guy say it, it didn't hit me in a, damn it, brother, you got to get it together. It was more like okay, he may need to upgrade the firmware on that.
Yes.
But if he does or doesn't, that's up to him. And seem like a good person that maybe didn't have the language. And I'm not a fucking professor. We're not in the class of educating people about the term. So I just need to get my car from place A to place B. And I think a lot of people relate to that because that happens to a lot of us in the daily lives where there's just something happening. You're like, maybe not oppressive, just awkward, and we can just move on. And that's why I expressed it, because I was like, y'all can probably relate to that. Mm-hmm. But I do appreciate the hat tip and being like, actually, the language is changing to a point where it's not even necessarily considered a slur to some people. I don't know if I fit the description of people that someone wouldn't take that as a slur coming from. So I'm just going to err on the side of not saying it.
Yeah, and it's also, for me, particularly, the older I have gotten, the more and it's not that you don't care, you limit the things that you put all your intent in when it comes to caring. And you care about things, but they're kind of lower on the totem pole because they don't directly impact you. I think some people I personally think some people haven't matured enough where when something happens, they navigate, is this impacting me directly now? How does this impact me?
Well,
like
I agree.
Go through that checklist. They just pour their energy into it.
But I think what you said earlier, which is what I was talking about, is the thing, is they think the impact is through watching people argue about it on social media. And if they were to take a breath and actually think, how is this impacting my life? They would find that it is actually a 0% impact in their life. Like if a thing disappears the second you log out of an app, that is not a thing that is impacting your life.
No, it is
so
not. You
getting emotional and angry and obtuse and argumentative and belligerent and then I just won't vote. That is impacting your life. And you sound like the white people who say, I'm going to vote against my own interests. And I think this is a particularly important conversation. I was listening to Firestarter talk about this a little bit. And I think it's important to point out the reality of this conversation is because people say Democrats. Can you show me any Democratic candidate running on this issue? Any?
None of them are.
When I say zero, as far as I know, it is 0 Democrats running on the trans inclusion in sports.
It's running on this. Like they're
I know Republicans who are making attack ads claiming Democrats want that.
Yes.
To which that lets me know how we've lost our focus in that we accept their premise as the evidence that this is happening. Mm-hmm. And they did the same thing with kids are dressing up as furries and going in the bathroom and using litter boxes. Joe Rogan is spreading that bullshit, and then here we are spreading it too on our side by being like, well, I know I'm not with that. Right. And that's why it matters if it's happening or not. That's why it matters. You can argue the theory, but that's like, is Jordan better than LeBron? They'll never play against each other. I don't know. But people love arguing the theory of it.
Yeah, they do.
And that's what social media is so good at encapsulating is our rage over the tribalism of creating dividing lines and fighting. What you're really arguing against, or what I would say those brothers are probably experiencing, is people online who've made their whole personality arguing about shit
in theory,
who are like, actually, I think it should only be trans people.
And they are
it's like
ridiculous.
That person is looking for engagement and mattering in a way that is not a mainstream focus, meaning
not fruitful.
Gavin Newsom ain't talking about it. Kamala Harris wasn't talking about it.
AOC
Bernie Sanders ain't talking about it. AOC ain't talking about it. Mom Donnie ain't talking about it. The people who are talking about it are people like Stephen A. Smith. People like Sophie Cunningham. People like, when you look at the list of people telling you this is an important issue that needs to be parsed out, it should tell you a lot that it's not Barack Obama. And I mean, those are the only time you hear people making it a big issue is people against it. I've heard zero people who are for this who have made it an issue. So yeah, this to me is the real seeding of the ground to conservatives and Republicans. We let them set the stage and then we play our part on their stage.
Yes.
And I feel like, how don't you look at the board and feel like you are a pawn in a chess game that is above your head and that you're doing labor for them? I'm not going to ever do labor for them. This is an issue we don't really talk about on the podcast. Why is that? You think I don't care? It's because I know it's not an issue. I know what the ultimate point is, to get you listening riled up and go, no matter what side of this I'm on. If I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck, let them play. Or if I'm on, honestly, I don't know the rules on the testosterone and shit. Whatever my point is, all it's gonna do is divide us when we're probably on the same side of, I believe trans people should have the rights and freedoms to be left the fuck alone,
like everybody
and
else.
Get everything else that you get out of this country that I get for your tax dollars. You should get every protection that I get in the workplace. You should get. If we can agree on that, then I don't even know how we would get to this level of like LeBron James should throw on a wig, like Trump said. If you were looking at Donald Trump and be like, sometimes conservatives are right, you got played. If you're looking at Royce White and Enes Kanter, Freedom, whatever, you got played. And I refuse to get played like that on our podcast, on our airwaves. We do not have to capitulate and give in to their terms of this debate or this argument. I will not argue about a thing that is not fucking happening in order to engender a bunch of consequences for shit that is happening. So now I get to watch y'all misgender people. Now I get to watch you fuck with people's IDs. Now I get to watch you fuck with people going through TSA.
To start attacking people it's not even sports related, right?
I will not be used by this administration or conservatives online as a cudgel against trans people. It's not happening. So whether you agree or disagree, the theory is bringing you to a place where you look like Dave Chappelle going, well, I didn't want my trans jokes being used in a way that is hurting trans people. Well, congratulations, motherfucker, you played yourself. And every day people wake up to play themselves even more. So just keep your eyes on the prize. We say we don't want to be distracted. We say we don't want to get caught up in little shit. And this isn't just about Firestar. This is just the general conversation.
Yeah, you're just talking
Stephen
about
A. Smith,
conversation
all these
in
people.
general. Yeah, how people talk. Yes.
If you talk about bigger pictures and distractions and what really matters, how are you going to end up hurting your own self-interest, hurting your people's interest, because you got obsessed with a theoretical thing that hasn't happened, or if it's happening so not often that and rules are already in place.
Yeah, they are rules in place.
There's no there yet.
Not yet.
And if there is going to be a there's going to be actual discussions and rules made by the people who are in charge of those leagues who know and care way more than you do. So I just think a lot of this, the real function is distraction. But anyway, all that to say, I appreciate the hat tip on the language, but I try not to get too caught up in the language of it all. I just thought it was a funny anecdote to be like, I think we're saying stud now, but I guess he on the old shit. But maybe I'm wrong, and maybe we're not saying stud, and we're saying the D word, as you said, and I'm on the old shit. It was interesting.
Yeah, and it's interesting when you listen to podcasts and everybody talks about these different things, because, it is one of those things where when you sit down and you actually analyze it, I guess in my brain, I was like, the foundation of this, where did it start? And for me, that matters, because I personally think a lot of people fell for the trick of Kamala Harris brought up trans issues. She never campaigned on it.
Right.
She never. You didn't.
Trump said that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
The Breakfast Club bought it. Like a lot of people bought it.
Yes, she personally, and this is why context matters. She didn't campaign on it. She didn't talk about it. She didn't even bring it up. But if you let people talk about it, they go, she consistently talked about it. No, Trump brought it up, and people listening to him bring it up associated that with her. So, like in my brain, those things matter. So that right there, I was like, no,
it's a non-starter for me.
That's not her fault.
You're right
that he started this.
You're right. All the context matters. I agree completely. I think it's a non-starter for me because I remember we had a thing on Game Theory once. We were going to talk about the trans swimmer. I forget her name, but there was like a group that was like protesting her and then like some other shit. And I forget where we landed on it. We ended up not even doing the segment. But it's going to get into the sticky icky of like, I don't really know what the rules are like for your bodies and what, if there's any advantages competitively. And one of the writers was like, we need to have a statement that is abolish the gender line in sports. Meaning there's no more women's track meets, men's track meets. Everybody's running on the same thing. And I'm like, that is way too big for the show. 2, is Bomani's name on it? Is that what he believes or that's what you believe?
Right.
And you want to put it in his mouth. He's not a robot. Mm-mm. He might not agree with that. As a lot of people might not agree with that. And yes, it's radical and revolutionary. Maybe we are headed there in 200 years. I don't know. Maybe we'd be the first to say it. But as of right now, that is not the issue that's really on the table, right? And it got a little, I wouldn't say contentious, but it was definitely passionate because this person had believed in this and they had put the work into this and they had thought about it a long time. And they're a good person that was trying to, I mean, we're coming, like I said, we're coming from the same place. Mm-hmm. But the thing that's interesting is because of the social media and the internet, the conversation really is not about trans people.
No, it's not.
What this conversation is actually about is the hurt feelings of people who are like, I actually don't agree or see the logic on this. And to me, it's simple in that I don't think a trans woman should play in cisgender women's traditional sports. And my feelings are hurt because I think y'all are going to say I'm a bad person and leave me behind.
I can see that. Yeah.
I don't want wishing ill will.
Right.
I find it to be confusing and overwhelming. And I just feel like maybe we should table this issue or leave it alone. And that's the real crux of this, is their insecurity of being considered a bad person, to the point where many of them will say or threaten, and that's why I'll vote for MAGA, or I won't vote at all, or I'm going to go be with the conservatives over here, like Andrew Schultz.
A lot of it is
it's really about their hurt feelings. Like they wouldn't express it that way because they don't want to be vulnerable. Right. But every time I've ever heard this conversation from the perspective of a person who is typically more liberal or Democrat leaning, and they get to this issue and they're like, I don't think I agree. Their reflex is like, and it fuck me, then fuck you. Right. That's them going, I don't want to be kicked out of the group because I don't agree, but I don't really see y'all's vision. I think the idea of being kicked out of the group is a social media internet contrivance.
It is.
Meaning, show me the trans groups that are even like that.
Right.
Like often in this conversation, we're having conversations about trans people that don't involve the trans people who are advocating.
Don't involve them themselves.
Many times the most reasonable views are trans activists, LGBTQ people and thought leaders. If you go talk to them about it, they'll be like, I'm going to be real. We don't really give a fuck about that. We are fighting for our lives.
Yeah, we just want a job and to live and to exist.
Yeah. Parenting without abuse. Schools that don't ostracize us or force us to perform
not get
gender
out of
conformity.
Communities.
These are the issues we're actually dealing with.
Yes.
And the issues y'all want to fight about are if a trans person can be good enough to possibly one day be one of the few people who ever get to play in the WNBA and be good, if we get to that luxury,
then we can have a conversation, right?
Like, that's the fight y'all want to have, and we're talking about food.
Right,
we're talking about
basic
safety.
Needs.
I'm talking about housing.
Right.
So that's why this
Where
conversation.
Am I going to sleep tonight?
That's where my passion lies in the conversation is in let's not be distracted by that. Mm-hmm. If people feel like that's a cop out, the same way they don't care, I don't care. You see what I'm saying? Like, then I'll be a cop out. I'm not gonna have a conversation about some shit where I know it fuels the other side to pretend that this is some crisis. I'm not.
Right, because
we have to stay focused on what is real. Because what I'm not gonna do, I'm not trying to chase you into voting for MAGA, and I'm not gonna go vote for MAGA, and I'm not gonna sit home, and I think it's a silly threat to even act like this one issue is gonna cause that.
Right.
I'm passionate about it, but just I find the social mediaification of it is the real enemy, not the actual anything happening in life.
I think the social mediaification of things, when you have conversation with somebody that has that brain and that mindset and you talk to them in real life, I know because I was this person and have had conversations with people outside of that, you sound like a fucking lunatic. You do not know how crazy you sound to people.
Yeah, we all sound crazy talking about social media when the other person ain't on it. Yeah. But yeah, it's just interesting because I hear that conversation a lot of places.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just led me down this rabbit hole of like, man, what are we doing? Because like and I guess Rev TT Kim's voicemail reminds me of conversations that start. This is why I got here, guys. My bad. I remember when conversations started first around policing language on the internet, and I found it to be so pedantic.
Yes.
Because what we lose sight of is a good heart is a rare thing that matters more. I don't believe in the results trump intentions. I'm not one of those people. I'm not a person that believes that I'm just not a person that is a stickler for those rules. I'd rather have a person that doesn't have the right language but has the right heart.
Yes,
because the right heart will find the right way to treat people. And if you truly got that, then don't get so caught up in these motherfuckers. What it is, I promise, this is the last part. I'm moving on because I got stuck here and this is my fault. The last part of this is this. The reason these folks are so sensitive to the idea that they may be out of step with the most stringent, high moral standard of whatever liberal ideal there is. The reason you're having such a volatile, defensive, belligerent response is because at your core, you want to be a good person.
Yeah, everybody does. Yeah.
At your
Most people
core.
does.
I'm saying
not
these
gonna say
people. I'm only talking about this group of people.
Okay.
The
Yes,
reason
yes,
you're
yes.
having that response is because you're hearing I'm a bad person somewhere inside you. Whether it's through the internet, whether it's your deepest insecurity and it's being reflected. The reason I believe these people are experiencing this sort of like internal crisis that is turning into like anger almost is like, what do you mean I'm not a good person? I just don't understand. So what the fuck are you trying to say? It's coming from a place of, no, I do want the best for people. I just think this is different. I just don't understand this. And I'm saying you have to silence that a bit in order to survive in the world. You have to silence it a little bit. You can't live your whole life worried about if somebody else think you're a good or bad person. You arrive where you arrive. The truth is, have a good heart, treat people well. You will not, the firmware will always be updating. The language will always change.
Yes.
The societal status quo will always be on the move. It's going to go from Negro to color to black to African America, like American. It's going to move. And if we spend a lot of time being like, we don't say black anymore, we get stuck on the wrong shit. So I feel like that's where a lot of this is. All right. Let's get to the emails after this. But we need another commercial break because that was long.
Riding on it. Riding on it. Riding on it.
Oh man. It's also crazy that this whole theory online rests upon like an elite NBA player just deciding to be trans just for the flex of it.
Right, you're not even trans. What are we doing?
I know, it's just so funny that the Republicans there has to be an actual trans athlete.
Yes, an
who
actual
would who
trans
who
athlete.
like would like to play, whose dream is to play in WNBA.
Yes.
It is weird that they can't. It's so funny that they hate trans people enough they can't go find that athlete. And because they're conservative, they actually don't support trans people or their dreams.
No, they don't.
So like they just keep creating like Royce White. Eventually they will find a trans person in the way that they did with that Abigail Spanberger girl who they used to apple-headed Abigail Spanberger who they used to sue against affirmative action as a white woman.
Right.
They will find somebody eventually, but it's interesting that like their own hatred makes it almost impossible for them to find a trans person to exploit. But they will.
Yeah, and they probably have approached them. They're like, no, not you. No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to find a willing trans person who's like, I want to be in the WNBA for real. That's my dream. I've done all the hormone therapy and I've taken all the steps. And also, I want to disrupt this league of women I otherwise respect and look up to. And I want to use conservative money from Steve Miller or whoever to do this. I don't know when it's happening.
That's a huge
but
ass.
it hasn't happened already because it's almost impossible to thread that needle. All right. Robert says, Prodigal Son episode. You mentioned Adam being like his father and calculating his interest in his auntie, but I think his interest in climbing was why he was happy to be a dragon rider. His brother was constantly trying to avoid that climbing out of anger towards his dad, or at least that was my read. Yeah, that's part of it, but like he literally did say to Bayla he would like to meet a lady. And by lady, he don't just mean a woman. He mean a lady with a name so that he can move up his station in the realm.
Yes, sir.
I wish the whole time that Raina or Damon just came out and said, yes, I wanted to help, thinking that I would bring favor, but I couldn't control him. So to make up for it, I've been hunting Vagar. That would have made things much more sense, but TV, so things go unsaid and everyone mistrusts. Yeah, I mean, it worked for me. I think all the problems could be solved with a conversation, but who the fuck want to watch that show?
Right.
And I always thought Caraxes looked weak with the long neck, but your point about the reach hits because he was like the skinny dude that dog walks big folks. Yes, he was. I did not see that coming. I don't know who all Caraxes could take down, but I look at that totally different now. Dayon, DeLeandre says, Rod and Karen, I started a cookies business earlier this year and sent you guys a package. I'll include the tracking number in this email. It's called 3B Cookies for my daughters, Bree, Blaze, and Bailey.
Oh.
Anyways, I sent a dozen or so if you feel so inclined to share with Justin, Turk, and the black parents who tip. We've got plenty. Thank you, buddy. Lastly, if you mention this on the feedback show, feel free to share the promo code B10 BEE10 B10 on the card with the audience if you like, but there's no expectation to say anything about them at all. Just wanted to show you guys some love. Love y'all. Dre, aka DeLeandre. P.S. Follow your boy on the gram at Dayon Lidre. And 3B Cookies, spelled 3 as THREEBEE Cookies. All right, there you guys go. And we'll be opening our mail in a second, so we'll get to that soon. But thank you for the cookies. Let's see, who is this? Oh no, this is, I don't even know, this is like spam. Chuck,
Yeah, that's like spam.
Oh, and so here's the update. I told you guys about the nicknames and all that stuff and how I thought it was cool.
Okay.
So we had a guy, Chuck, who wrote into the show to say, when you came up with the nickname for Off, I thought of a way for you to remember the nicknames. Yu-Gi-Oh style trading cards. The flavor text can be changed, but I think it might be close to the spirit of what you, Justin and Karen, were saying. I'm thinking of at least doing Ali Berry and MC Hugh Hammer. 2 years might be enough time to finish these up. Enjoy your Atlanta show. Congrats on the continued growth. And I have to show y'all this. This is amazing. And I definitely want in on this. So it's cards that look like the characters.
That's adorable.
And so it says Off the White Working Class at the top, House of Dragons, he's got him with a like MAGA looking hat that says "Drinks on Me," smiling at the camera. Dragon Rider. This guy's about that life. Just got a good promotion, but needs a good drink at happy hour. After being disrespected by both Team Black and Team Green, he decides it's time to really get things lit with Dragonfire. Who want it? I got it. And I was like, can I do these and write the like script to him, because I would change just a few notes. Like I definitely want to put in he want to make both sides burn, because that's really the white working class part of it. And so he actually shared with me in another email the designs on Canva. So I can now technically, if I can figure it out, go in here and create these character cards. And I definitely will create them, because there's so many nicknames we've come up with. Littlefoot, Longfoot, Aegon the Crispy.
Yeah, so we can keep a track of them.
Yeah.
Lord DEI.
Lord DEI. So like, I can't wait to do these. I don't know what we can do with them. Like, I don't know if it's like I'm sure there's some copyright shit where we can't just like sell these or put them on like t-shirts or whatever. But there might be something we can do where we can share them online with each other or something. Cause I think that would be fun. I hopefully I can figure it out and do them. And thank you, Chuck Spears, for doing this and sharing these designs with me so that I can do them myself, because I really do want to get in here and mess with them a bit. So thank you so much. I'll probably make this the art of the show, this card that you sent, just so people can see what I'm talking about if they can't watch the broadcast. So
that's actually really good. I like that, dog.
Yeah, man. So thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank you for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. But first, we need to open up. Now, Karen, why would you say it that way? You think I was really going to be like, and I don't want to open the mail. No, I forgot. What's more likely? I forgot to open the mail.
I know you.
Or I decided purposely to ignore the people that sent us mail. See, I just took shots at me, guys. Oh, so you just not going to open the mail? Obviously, I forgot, y'all.
What about that over there, brother?
I'm not perfect. I fuck up sometimes. All right, so we did get this in the mail. This is obviously from Dre, and it should be the cookies, because it says it's 3B on the top. Let's see what kind of cookies he got up in here. Okay, a lot of packing stuff in here. Oh, there's another box inside. There's a big black box too. All right. 3B cookies. You guys can see the label there.
Oh, that's adorable.
And let me see how to open it. Which side? Okay, it opens on this side. Get my letter cutter, box cutter. Boom. And open it up like a fresh pair of J's. The inside got a card. 3B cookies. Got this thing. I forget what these are called. The code, the box looking thing.
UCB? What is it?
I forget what it's called.
I'm about to say UCB. That's definitely not it.
We hope these cookies bring a little extra sweetness to your day. Thanks for being a part of our journey. As a small token of our appreciation, please enjoy 10% off your next order with offer code BEE10, B10. If you like to share the sweetness, feel free to find us on social media at 3B Cookies. And then a lot of packing in here. I don't want to get... Oh, these are cookies. He said a dozen. I thought he meant like it was going to be in one box. Oh, no. These is like them big-ass cookies. Oh, it's assorted flavors up in this bitch, too.
Well,
they're not all the same.
I like me a good assortment.
That one had M&M. This one look like it's some oatmeal.
Now, you know me well. I like me some M&M cookies. M&M cookies is up my alley.
Yeah. Snickerdoodle. Snickerdoodle, yeah. Oh, for sure. I don't know how Justin and them gonna get any of these.
I about to say they might not
make it out the crib, player. I will slowly eat these down over the course of.
Ain't that the truth?
They better come by the house.
I don't know. We might not shit. Oh, QR code. Thank you.
That's what it's called.
I called it UCB. I was like, it's one of them damn.
I'm so old. I didn't even try. I was like, I know I'm gonna fuck it up.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you for these cookies. We're absolutely gonna enjoy these cookies for sure. Matter of fact, let me put it down before I take them all out the box and get this wrapping all over the house. And then the last thing we went to the NABJ and they gave us swag bags.
They did.
So we got like a NABJ little tote type. It's bigger than it's better than a tote. It's like a duffel bag situation.
Yeah, you can pack your overnight clothes in it.
Mm-hmm. Like if you really gonna get out in these streets, you need a whole bag.
Come on, a whole to-go bag.
You got mints for after the sex. You want to get, freshen back up, or before the sex. I don't know. Sacramento State, I guess, provided these mints. We got some pens here from Xavier University of Louisiana, so HBCU, shout out to them. Emory University, put a pen in there. Bloomberg apparently gave notebooks.
I like that notebook.
Yeah, I was in the market for a new notebook. We also got church fans in
Come
here.
on through, church fans.
One says MS Now, We the People newsletter, sign up. And the other one says Clock It with Simone and Eugene, MS Now podcast, Simone Sanders Townsend and Eugene Daniels. They did a live taping of their podcast, and you can use this whenever the spirit hits you. Emory gave us like a fridge magnet. That's a big ass fridge magnet. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was it in the swag bag. Thank you, NABJ, for having us. Thank you.
Yes, we had a
Risha.
good time.
Thank you, Hannah. I appreciate Michael Harriet coming out.
I do too. It was wonderful to meet him in
Thanks
person.
to all the students that stopped and talked to us afterwards and asked questions and all that stuff, man. We just very thankful, grateful. And thank you to Nissan for fixing my car for before the road trip, saving us a few dollars.
Yeah, they did.
On the rental car and putting a new engine in there. 0 miles. Okay, let's go.
I know, right? 0 miles.
Can't wait to hit these streets. Got to get to the gym. Speaking of hitting the streets, got to hit the weights. All right, y'all. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Have a good rest of the day.